Hey guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto finds predator technology. If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. Predator and prey, one of the basic thing of the circle of life. The weak is prey and the strong are predators. However, that is always the ways of the circle of life, something the prey becomes the predator and the predator become prey. It has been 1 year since the attack of the nine-tailed fox attacked the village hidden in the leaves. Life in Konoha was peacefully at times. The village was protected thanks to the fourth Hokage who sacrificed his life for his people, many believed. Naruto Uzumaki, an orphan born without parents, he is 1 year old yet he does not speak but he walks and runs. Hated by others, he doesn't know why he'll be 2 in 2 weeks. Naruto Uzumaki, the host of the nine-tailed fox, he does not know of it. Being forbidden by a law of the third Hokage, young Uzumaki lives alone. The street be his home, a 1-year-old child alone and hated by all. However, tonight Naruto will find he has a new place to exist so very soon. That night, Konoha streets, 9 o'clock. The night cold wind blew in the air. It was the season of fall, the time of change. Naruto Uzumaki was walking around the streets of Konoha alone, bored and lonely. Naruto was hungry, his stomach roared it, so finding food in trash can wasn't a good idea. There never is anything good in there. Naruto was walking by a small store with the smell of yummy food. Naruto turned to look to see a bowl right there. The owner of the store was fixing something in his store. As he saw the poor child, he spoke to the boy, "Hey you." Naruto turned and looked at the owner and pointed at his chest, "Yes you. You looked hungry, kid." Naruto's stomach growled loudly as the two sweat dropped together. "I take that as a yes then." The man laughed friendly. Naruto took a seat and the owner gave Naruto a free bowl of ramen. "Try this, kid, on the house." Naruto nodded his head and grabbed the bowl, pull it closer to him and grab the small wooden sticks. As Naruto had his first ramen, the meal was truly the best thing Naruto has ever had in his life. Naruto ate the entire bowl of ramen. Naruto smiled at the owner. "You're welcome, kiddo. You need to look for yourself. Going on without food is dangerous thing," the owner told Naruto as the young child nodded his head and left after waving goodbye to him. "He's an orphan but he's a good kid, I can tell," the owner said with a big smile. After Naruto ate his free dinner, he left happily. The night was still young. And Naruto was getting a little tired. He wanted to rest out for a while. Naruto happy and full. However, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling he was being watched. There were a lot of people around but that wasn't it at all. Naruto didn't pay no mind to it at all. He just kept on walking happy. Naruto was stopped when he was called out by a mean voice, "Hey brat." Naruto looked back to see a large male with a mean look in his eyes. He wasn't alone, there were 3 others with the man. Naruto didn't say anything. He didn't know how to speak yet. He could walk and run, eat and sleep. Naruto didn't like the look in their eyes, so the boy did what thought was best, running. And so he did. He ran as fast he could. Naruto ran to the training ground where he thought he was safe. However, that was a bad call. "Kid, why are you running from us?" the man asked Naruto as Naruto's eyes were filled with fear. "He's just a brat, bet he doesn't know how to talk. He's 1, he'll be 2 in 2 weeks, I heard," spoke the second man. As the third man cracked his knuckles and spoke, "He looks innocent, but believe it or not, this kid got the nine-tailed fox in him." "You don't say," spoke the fourth man. "Bet the kid doesn't know a thing what we're talking about right now." "The old man Hokage said it is forbidden to speak of it," said the fourth man. "He didn't say anything about giving this little one a lesson in manners," the third man said with a grin. Naruto's heat was beating like a fast drum beat. True, he didn't know what they talking about. But seeing they had weapons in their hands was more than enough to give Naruto the feeling they don't want him alive. "Close your eyes and say goodbye, kid," the first man said while Naruto closed his eyes and waited for the pain of a beatdown to come. But then something happens. There was a marking appeared from nowhere. It appeared on Naruto's forehead and upward. "Hey, what's that marking?" spoke the fourth man as the first man, foolish enough, turned to see where it was coming from. When he looked, he saw the strange beam light came from the tree. He saw someone there. Boom! The sound of a powerful beam was shot from the tree by an unknown person. The beam went right through the first man, killing him. As the man dropped down, as the others got easily scared, the second and third men quickly dropped their weapons and ran away like scary cats. While the fourth man stays behind, he grabbed Naruto, using him as a human shield. "Come out," the man yelled. Naruto was scared. He wasn't what was going on. He didn't see anyone there. He thought the man was crazy and he was doing to kill him. "Don't crying, kid," the man told Naruto as the man bashes Naruto on the head. "I say quit crying." There was a loud snarl noise. The man let go of Naruto just as he turned around as he something behind him. He was right there, something behind him, but it was too late. The man was impaled by something. He didn't see anyone, but they were there. The man coughed up blood as the blood got on the stealth person. It turned out the person was using stealth camouflaged. It wasn't any normal person either. He was unbelievably tall, well over 7 feet, probably closer to 8 feet. Never seen a being as massive giant he was. His shoulders spread broadly and his entire body swelled with bulging muscle. Whatever he was much larger than any man, but he was most certainly not a human being. Naruto suddenly notices the being's flesh appeared very inhuman. Pale base color speckled with blackish blotches, much like a lizard. His large mammoth hands and feet were scaly, clawed, and very reptilian looking too. Definitely not human, though he had 5 fingers were longer and irregular. They resembled the overall structure of a human hand. Covering his bodybuilder frame was a complicated and layered set of armor. The metallic shell spanned across his wide chest, rested on his shoulders, encased his forearms, calves and knees, and stretched along his back. It was layered looking and seemed bendable with the being's movements. At his waist he bore a kind of utility belt from which I could see various metal devices as well as long-bladed knives and small skulls of creatures. As for clothing, he wore simple leather-looking loincloth about his waist, which indicated he was indeed of the male gender. Beneath all that armor, a fishnet-like material laced his whole body, barely containing the bulging muscles beneath. But the most notable element of his attire had to be the pewter-colored mask that glinted in the moonlight. With organic swooping curves, a domed, rounded forehead, and menacing glass eyepieces that seemed to chill down Naruto's spine. Behind the chilling metal visor, there hung a thick cluster of banded tubes. No, not tubes. They looked more like some kind of hard, fleshy dreadlocks that fell to the upper portions of his back. The being tosses the man's body off his large long spear. The being turns its attention toward Naruto, who had its attention the most. Naruto was scared as hell. He didn't know what to do. His heart was beating real fast. Naruto heard a strange snarl noise coming from the being as the two stared at one another for a long time. Though Naruto was scared shitless, he didn't stop giving the unknown being a stare of courage. Afraid the boy was, but Naruto had courage in his eyes. The boy's eyes told the being he wasn't afraid at all. The being walked toward Naruto as the child had to look up at the giant. The giant grabbed Naruto by his neck without crashing the small child when he brought the boy up his level face to face. Before Naruto feigned on the giant, Naruto spoke for the first time. His first words were, "Who are you?" The being snarled again. He grabbed a strong hold around Naruto's neck. He could easily snap Naruto's neck if he wanted to. But this hunter was different. He found his target. The hunter looked at his arm wrist and put a button which caused him and Naruto to go stealth in the blink of the eye. Hours later, Naruto later awake somewhere he wasn't familiar with at all. Naruto opened his blue eyes to see he was in case of thick glass. The glass case Naruto was in was big enough for his size. Naruto looked around. He wasn't in Konoha anymore. The place he was at was covered with metal from top to bottom. The water Naruto was in wasn't normal water. The water he felt filling his lungs, yet he wasn't drowning, which was strange to him. Naruto saw the hunter who he encountered early. The hunter was staring at him with his arms crossed over his chest. The hunter wasn't alone either. There was two just like him, not as huge but still big they were. Naruto saw they were talking to one another. The second hunter pulled a switch which drained something into the glass Naruto was inside. The blue water was now mixing with a thick green liquid. It was thick as blood. Naruto felt it. To his curious, Naruto tasted as the boy didn't like this foul taste of blood. The second hunter pulled another switch. However, this switch sent a powerful shock of electricity which electrocuted Naruto as the child screams in pain of being electrocuted. When the second hunter pulled the switch up, stopping the experiment, Naruto was panting hard. He felt funny. Something inside his body was clawing out from within. Naruto placed his right hand on the glass. Help," Naruto said. The hunter turned and nodded his head. The second hunter nodded his head and pulled the switch as the third hunter watched as Naruto was being electrocuted again. Naruto screamed again and again. His body, he felt it changing into something different. He felt it changing. They stopped the experiment again. Naruto's hands were different now. His hands were more like claws. Naruto's eyes were color red. He was getting angry at the unknown hunters for doing this to him. The hunters were interested in this change of Naruto. Naruto heard one of snarl again. Stop. He asked them, please. The hunter saw Naruto's now red eyes were changing to a different color. Now they were changing to orange, dark orange. Naruto saw his hands were now a different color, dark green. They were his fingernails were long claw-like the hunter's claws were. Naruto gasped as he knew what their plan was. Their plan was to change him, transform him into one of them. No. Naruto screamed loudly in anger as the second hunter pulled again. Home is the heart, as they said. How the old ones used to say, but home is home. Long as there a place to eat and sleep, that's home. I wasn't sure how long I was out or how many days it has been since I was taken from my home world. But I remember the sound of bubbles. On the Bad Blood spaceship. Inside a large water tank with his knees up to his chest and his arms holding his legs in a curl ball posture. Naruto opened his eyes. He must have been asleep for a very, very, very long time. His body felt numb. He couldn't move his shoulders or his legs, but he was able to move his fingers. Naruto felt his fingers were different. He didn't know until he looked down at them. Naruto's body has been completely changed. If he wasn't so numb, he could have let out a loud scream. Naruto's sight went blurry on him once again. He was in pain, so much pain. Naruto was hoping someone would come. Somebody will come to save him. Naruto was asleep, but he could hear. His hearing became very good after he was taken by the hunters. Was it because of his mutation, because of what they did to him? Naruto wasn't sure. All Naruto heard was the sound of the space landing. They must have landed on a planet or stopped somewhere, Naruto thought to himself while there was a long pause of silences at first. But then a loud rumble sound. It shook the space a bit. Then there was a loud roaring sound, sounds almost like a battle cried. Naruto felt the numbness was going away. Naruto opened his eyes when he heard the sound of someone stepping on a board on the spaceship. It was a hunter much like the others, but this one was far different from the others. He was much taller and bigger in size. The color of his skin was dark green mixed with yellow, giving his skin color greenest yellow. Like the other, he wore a mask, but unlike the others he didn't look as mean even though he wore a mask. Also his dreadlocks were long, it came down to his shoulders. Naruto could tell he was different from the others. Hearing the snarling sound coming from the big hunter, the hunter walked up close to the water tank. Naruto was inside. The hunter tapped the glass to get Naruto's attention. Naruto stared at the hunter with his light crystal blue eyes. The hunter turned away and left the ship but returned with two predators. One was a male but smaller in height, size about 6'4", but the one who just met Naruto was about 6 feet 9. But the newest one Naruto saw was female. She was larger than any of the males. Her height was about 7'5", the tallest person Naruto has ever seen in his life. Unlike the males, the female of the group of 3, she wore different armor. It wasn't protecting the stomach like the males but more protecting her S. Her S were large. Naruto didn't know what cup size she was. Of course he was just a child, but all he knows what they were large. Her dreadlocks were longer than the two males. Her dreadlocks stopped to her stomach. The female hunter's skin color was mix of orange and red together. Her skin looked soft and beautiful. She was the most beautiful creature Naruto has ever seen. Naruto could see the 3 hunters talking to one another together. The 3 looked at Naruto every 3 seconds. But the female hunter made a loud snarl noise. The 2 males nod their heads agreeing with the female. The tallest male bashed his fist at the glass, breaking it as Naruto fell down to the ground naked. He was weakened but alive. Naruto was picked up by the back of his neck by the second male, who was the shortest of the group. The group took Naruto of the ship that belonged to the group of Bad Bloods. When Naruto was out of the space, he saw the 3 hunters that kidnapped him. They were on their knees, their hands tied together behind their backs. There was another hunter, but this looks old, very old. His dreadlocks were white to show his age. Naruto believed he wore a mask like the others. He had a red cape, wearing heavy armor with a long metal staff. Naruto believed he was the true leader of the 3 hunters. The leader hunter stabbed the ground with his staff and pointed at Naruto as he asked one of the Bad Blood hunters. The Bad Bloods didn't speak to the leader hunter, only glare at Naruto while Naruto glared them back. His eyes had great hatred toward them. The leader hunter ordered the tallest male hunter to take care of the matter. The tall hunter grabbed the leader of the Bad Bloods by the dreadlocks as the tall male hunter wrist blade came out. The male hunter sliced off the leader of the Bad Bloods' head clean off. As green blood came out up in the air as the body waved around a little before falling to the ground, it was the most coolest and yet most horrible thing he has ever laid eyes on. Naruto on the inside, he was glad these bad hunters were getting what was coming to them. The female hunter grabbed one of them and tossed second Bad Blood hunter head right off. She was very strong. As one of the good hunters snarl in delight, Naruto could tell they were enjoying this very much. The hunter that was holding Naruto by the back of his neck dropped him as Naruto hit the ground. The third hunter went for the final Bad Blood and rammed his wrist blade up the Bad Blood's skull as his wrist blade went straight through its helmet. With all three Bad Bloods dead, the hunters let out a scary and powerful roar. The roar spooked Naruto. Naruto looked up at the hunters as the three males walked over to Naruto and snarled at him. The female grabbed Naruto by the back of his neck and snarled as well. Within a few seconds later, the team of hunters took Naruto with them on their spaceship after they blew up the Bad Blood's spaceship and left the planet they were on. The spaceship Naruto was inside was larger than the spaceship he was in. Naruto woke up after taking a short nap. Naruto looked around the room he was in. The room was small. Naruto looked at his hands. His whole body was changed. Naruto's body was much the male hunter's but younger. The color of his body was different as well, mix of dark orange and little of green. His hands were claws. His feet were no longer human feet. His stomach and chest looked more muscular. But his face, what of his face? He thought Naruto was looking around for a mirror but did found a mirror, a small one. Naruto dropped the small mirror as it fell into pieces. Naruto was horrified of what he has become. Naruto's eyes were the same crystal blue but his mouth, face was different. Having large two fangs and two large fangs at the bottom, but he still had his human mouth. He felt it. Naruto felt strange. He felt naked, besides being naked of course, but feeling naked he didn't have any trademark of his former self, only his eyes were the same. Naruto just remained silent, still freaked out, but he didn't scream nor did he yell. Naruto just sat there on the ground looking at the window, which gave him a beautiful view of outer space. The sight was truly beautiful, planet after planet and the stars. What a sight it was, truly it was. Naruto watched for hours of space until he had a visitor. Naruto looked back to it was the old hunter. The old hunter looked down at Naruto for about 10 seconds before speaking to the boy as Naruto listened to the old hunter. The old hunter told Naruto he knows Naruto isn't one of them, however his new body tells them he is one of them. Naruto's eyes told him he wasn't a predator. There never been a blue eyes predator before, but the elder told Naruto he will not let one with a body of a predator go without honor. And honor is life to a predator. Naruto didn't speak back, he only bowed his head to the elder as the elder predator believes Naruto was a half-breed, captured by the Bad Bloods. Naruto didn't know what to do now. He could only listen and do what he was told. He was a child still. His heart was human but his body wasn't human, not anymore. Naruto was told he was held capture for 5 seasons. In Earth time it would be 5 years. Naruto was 6 now. He did kind of now notice he was taller and it looked older by the looks in his eyes. The elder hunter also told Naruto that will be under care of one his best hunters. Naruto looked tough and strong, but he was a child in both humans and predators' eyes. When he come of age he will be ready for his first hunt, but right now the boy is about to meet his new home. The home planet of the predators. Predators' home world. The predators' home world, their planet, a planet unlike no other. The sky was color light orange. They have 3 moons and 2 suns. The heat of the planet was twice the heat on Earth. If Naruto was wearing a jacket he would be out of it in seconds. Naruto was nervous about this being at someone else's home world and being his first time in outer space and also on an alien home world. Naruto wore loincloth. He stood beside the same tall male hunter who broke his free from the water tank. To Naruto's left was the large tall female hunter and to his right the short hunter, and in front of Naruto was the elder hunter. In front of the elder were a very large number of predators, crown of them as they cheered for the return of the elder, and many hunters that stood behind and beside him. Naruto remained quite in the back, not moving or saying a word. But then the elder looked back and spoke of Naruto. Naruto was pushed forward by the 3 predators that saved him. Thousands of eyes stared at him. He was a half-breed but not of the xenomorphs but of human. Although many predators have some dislike toward human, but the human race was also a strong race as well. Hunters they were as well. The elder spoke of Naruto being a half-breed but his blood is predator be it mix or not. The roar of cheers Naruto heard the boy was shocked he was being cheered on by the predator race. His blood boiled with joy he was accepted as one of them. The elder ordered the hunters to return home and celebrate their victory of winning their many trophies while Naruto was left there. But 4 predators remained the elder and the 3 that saved Naruto. Naruto looked like a lost puppy to their eyes. Little one, a home you shall have. The elder spoke. Naruto looked down at the ground with his eyes closes. Elder, may I take him? Naruto opened his eyes looking up to see it was the female who spoke. Any reason you wish to take him as yours? The elder asked. You are ready to be a kin at a young age? This was my first hunt. I am blood. This one is a little one, he is unblood, though he is half-breed, he is one of us. The female hunter said. That is true, young one. You are one of Junkea's children, are you not? The elder said to the female hunter while Naruto listened to them. Yes, Junkea is my bearer. Your name, young blood. Malice, my bearer, named me this because of my skin. I am one of 7 daughters my bearer had. Your bearer was wise and should be proud. You bring many trophies with you on your first hunt. Malice, the female hunter, bowed down to the elder feeling very honorable. You two did amazing as well. Your names are? Deadeyes. Spoke the short predator. He has chosen this title because, believe it or not, Deadeyes was bind. Brute. Spoke the tall predator. He has chosen this title because of his size and strength. Brute and Deadeye removed their masks to the elder hunter, and to Naruto's surprise he was just like them. Only Deadeye's eyes were white, which shows he was bind, but he hunted his prey just like a normal predator. His helmet helped him, and even without his helmet his hearing was amazing. While Brute's face was almost like Naruto's but a true pure-blood predator's face, and he was much older as well. As Naruto wondered what the female of the race looked like, was they the same or were they different from the males? As Naruto also notices that there was a marking on their foreheads which shows that they have been blooded. Malice didn't remove her mask, which made Naruto to wonder what she looked like. But none of that mattered right now at the moment, because Naruto had a new home. He was no longer in the world of man. He will have be strong or die as a weakening. The life of predator and prey, only the strong will live and the weak will die. Next time home, part 3. There you have it everyone. Chapter 2. Naruto has been saved by a group of predators who just finished their first hunt and become. And lucky for Naruto, they so happen to be nearby the bad blood spaceship. Although half-breed are forbidden, however, they're half-breed predators in the comics. But they have to work for their honor to be honor as full-blooded predators, be they half-breed. They have predator blood, so they must show the full blood that a half-blood is just as strong and honorable as a full blood. And I mean half-breed by those predators that has been crossbreed or experimented on. Naruto will be nicknamed Blue Eyes by other young predators because of him having blue eyes. When a predator is blood on their first hunt, they are given a code name or a title. Malice is her real name, but her title is Bloody. Deadeyes is his real name, but his title is Echo. Brute is his real name, but his title is Dark Claw. So if Naruto was to be blood on his first hunt, I believe by going by what his name mean would sit it well, as Naruto does mean Maelstrom. Not really sure if that will be his title, code name when he is blood, so I could come down with title for Naruto like. After the short meeting and chat with Elder Predator, Naruto was given the right to be a part of Malice's clan. He would be adopted by her and her family and become one of them, a hunter, a predator, a hunter that lived by honor and respect. Naruto followed Malice to her where she lives. Malice was carrying a large net bag of skulls, very large skulls. Naruto would stare at Malice's bag of skulls, strange-looking skulls they were. Naruto looked around while walking with Malice. His surrounds were new to him. The home world of the predators reminded him of his human world. They were building and also small homes, or should I say small dwell cave-like homes. Malice stopped by a large stone-made building. We are here, little one. Malice spoke as her voice got Naruto's attention. He felt nervous at first, but as long as he was with Malice he knew he can do this. Malice turned to face Naruto. She got on one knee and told him, "Listen well, little one, and listen well. My bearer does not know I have adopted you as one of us. She doesn't take too kindly of half-breeds." "Why is that?" Naruto said as Malice found Naruto's voice to be gentle and small. 10 seasons ago my father was slain by an Uman. Although his death was honorable, his death could have been more honorable. Naruto felt a hint of sadness in Malice's voice. What do you mean could have been more honorable? My father was betrayed during his last hunt. His allies turned bad blood on him. My father and the Uman battled together and killed my father's former friends, and my father battled the Uman alone and died an honorable death. Malice told Naruto the story of her father's death. My father's death would have been more honorable if he wasn't wounded by the bad bloods, but still my father wounded or not died as a fearful warrior. So your Ka-san doesn't like Uman because of this? Malice nodded her head while Naruto hoped Malice's mother will have a likely to him, but my bearer will understand. And I hope her rage toward Uman has vanished from her warrior heart. Naruto lowered his head, understood, and prayed indeed to be accepted by Malice's family. But I believe my sisters will like you. And maybe you and my little brother get along. Malice patted Naruto on the head while unknowing even to himself Naruto snarled with joy. Malice rise up and nodded on the tall large metal doors twice. The doors open up as a very tall female who was at the same height Malice was. However, this female predator skin was light brown. Like Malice, she wore a predator mask hiding her face. But to Naruto's surprise, she was naked. Naruto didn't freak out or anything. He was young, he never know the problem humans have being naked. Sister, you're home. How was your first hunt? Said the tall brown skin-colored female predator. Malice hugged her eldest sister Fueka, the firstborn of 7 daughters. Malice's mother Junkeya. Fueka saw Naruto staring at the two sisters. Sister, who is this little one? Malice looked at Naruto, then back at her eldest sister. A young one we found during our first hunt. Capture he was, enslaved he is no longer. Elder has given him to me, I am his bearer now. 20 seasons you are young to be a bearer, no? Fueka asked her little sister, while Malice could only say, taken this honor given to me by the elder, how could I say no? Fueka back up and snarl with delight, fair enough little sister. Where's our bearer? Malice asked. In her chamber she slumbers. Our 2 sisters are out, only me and the young of 3 plus little brother would remain here. Fueka said to Malice, while Malice sighed, I am not surprised it matter not. Fueka looked down at Naruto while Naruto looked up at the tall beautiful eldest predator. Fueka patted Naruto on his head. Welcome to your new home, little one. Malice's home. Inside Malice's home it was almost like a normal building, but the walls were stone made but glowed with energy symbols flashing on and off. Naruto followed the sisters down a few stairs which led them deeper inside the home, which had only 1 floor but had many lower floors. The lower floors were large and huge. Naruto felt like he was inside small temple. But however they didn't stop there. The 3 walked to another set of stairs, but these stairs went upward after a few stairs steps. Naruto saw sunlight and found himself in a very large place. Naruto didn't know he was in the backyard. There was a large pool, the water blue just like Earth's water but much lighter blue color. Out came from the pool was a female predator who shared the same skin color of Fueka. It was Fueka twin sister. Susu was her name, but unlike her sister, Susu didn't wear a mask. Susu got out of the large pool like Fueka. She too was naked. Susu's face was unbelievably beautiful. Her eyes were strong and fearful like the male predators. Much like the males, the female had large fangs, but their fangs were longer and looked more deadly. However, their mouths much like the males but more human-like. To Naruto's eyes the females looked like half-breeds, but they looked stronger and meaner than their male counterparts. Sister, you are home. How was your first hunt? Susu asked her little sister Malice, while Fueka snarled with delight. We have a new member of the family. Fueka said, which made Susu to wonder, little sister is with child so soon? No, Susu, I have adopts a little one. Susu looked to see Naruto hiding behind Malice's right leg. Susu clicks her fangs and snarl while staring at the new member. Isn't he a cute little sucker? Where did you find this one? During my first hunt, he was captured by 3 bad bloods, but with elder's permission he was given to me and I was marked as his bearer. Young, he is only 6 seasons. Malice explained to her second eldest sister. Susu's orange eyes widened. 6 seasons, this one is ready to learn. Best to have them learn to hunt when they are only 6 seasons. Daijin will like this one indeed. Susu patted Naruto on the head like Fueka and Malice did. Why do they pat my head like that? Naruto thought to himself, bearer, may I ask a question? Naruto said while looking at Malice. Malice looked at her son and spoke, yes, you may speak. Why do you and your sisters pat my head like that? The young predator wonders, so he asked them that question. The females snarl and clicks when Naruto spoke of this. The three sisters looked at one another and then back at Naruto. You have been accepted. When a little one is taken in by another clan, a pat on the head symbolizes you are accepted as one of us. Susu explained to Naruto as the young one took his information very well and was glad to have his question answer. And also we like you, little one. Fuika said. How many sisters you have, my bearer? Naruto asked another good question for Malice. As Malice answered her adopted son's question, Fuika and Susu are twins. They are the eldest of the 7 daughters my bearer brought to this world. Then there's Mi the 3rd eldest, then there's Kai the 4th, Lin the 5th, Nora the 6th, and I Malice the 7th. And let's not leave our little brother Advi. A new voice spoke out which came out from behind the 4. The 4 looked to see it was the 3rd eldest Mi. Mi was taller than Fuika and Susu, about 7 feet 8. Naruto sweat dropped. He felt shorter and shorter every time he saw one of Malice's family members. Mi's skin was silver color, her hair was long as Malice's. Mi's eyes were light orange like Susu's eyes. She's huge. Naruto thought. But like her sisters she was beautiful. How long were you their sister? The 3 sisters asked Mi. While Mi clicks her, knowing Advi has a brother. And also our bearer has awakened from her slumber. Out came from the stairway was a tall big female predator. Her skin color was dark red with black spots, her eyes were black as darkness. She had very long fingernails about 5 inches long. She was 7 feet 8 like her daughter Mi, but Junkaya was muscular with tight abs and large S. She had the strong dominated female looks. The alpha female of her clan, by looking at Naruto, knew Malice's father had to be a large and very strong alpha male to be the father of 7 daughters and 1 son. Junkaya clicks her fangs while staring down Naruto with her black eyes. She then looked at her youngest daughter. Malice removed her mask and showed her face to her mother. Malice's eyes was different from her sister's, her eyes were brown colored. Malice's mouth, she had small fangs, her eyes were kind. When Junkaya saw her daughter was blooded, a happy snarl escaped from Junkaya. You have done well, my child. I saw you have many trophies from your first hunt. You are indeed your father's spawn and my child. Junkaya looked at Naruto, seeing a new predator in her lair. She glared at him while Naruto felt her eyes were looking deep in his soul. Junkaya reached out her right hand toward Naruto while Naruto closed his eyes, hoping she would accept him like the others. But when Naruto opened his eyes, Junkaya flicked her finger at Naruto's forehead. Naruto fell in the pool as the boy wasn't learned how to swim before. I take it he's yours, Malice? Junkaya turned to look at her daughter. Yes. Malice answered her mother while Naruto was trying not to drown. The ladies only watched the boy trying to swim for his life. Susu went over to the pool and grabbed Naruto by the neck. You're going to be trouble somehow. Susu clicks her fangs. And so I lived with my new family. My sisters and my new mother, strong and tough there but beautiful there, I cannot lie about that. Naruto thought to himself. Junkaya looked at Naruto and clicks her fangs, not once, not twice, but 3 times. Junkaya looked at her daughters, then stare at her youngest daughter Malice. He will slumber in your chamber, until his is made, understand, my child? Yes, bearer. Malice looked at Naruto while snarling at her son. Junkaya clicked her fangs again while glaring at Naruto's crystal blue predator eyes. Junkaya knew the boy was different, but his eyes were strong like a normal young spawn. Naruto now had a family, a strong one with 7 sisters and 1 brother, a big family. They were now the only thing Naruto needs to learn was how to kill. Kill like a predator. Naruto woke up by the touch of his mother Malice. Waking him up, shaking his right shoulder a little bit. Naruto opened his blue eyes as his eyes met his mother's. Naruto shook his head. Morning, little one, said Malice. Naruto got out of bed. Its warm fur covers was godly warm. The bed made out of stone, but its covers made out of warm fur of an unknown animal. Once out of bed, Naruto followed his mother to the top floor of Malice's home. There was a large table. From Naruto's view, it was breakfast time. Naruto didn't look hungry at the moment. He looked at his mother. Where's everyone? He asked. Malice smiled at her son and patted him on the head. My sisters are away, little brother is awake, and mother is away as well. Today is a special day for you, my little one. Being a curious little one he asked once again, what's special for today? A new voice spoke. His voice was little deeper than Naruto's first lesson. Naruto looked back to see Malice's little brother Advi. About 2 inches taller than Naruto. His eyes were dark green, his skin color was green-brown mix. But unlike Naruto, Advi was a pure-blooded predator. Greeting little sucker. Advi's nickname for Naruto, as Advi click his fangs twice before looking at his big sister Malice. Advi, I want you to take little one with you to class today. He doesn't know our homeworld that much, so it's up to you to make sure my little one knows. Advi beat his chest once with his right hand. Don't worry, he will know within a day. Advi stare at Naruto while the young predator was kind of worried what would Advi do. 3 minutes later, following Advi down the streets, walking along with his uncle, but strangely enough Naruto saw him as a brother rather than an uncle. But anyway, in front of the two was a large building. There was a group of young predators about Naruto's and Advi's age. When they saw Naruto and Advi, they walked over to the two. A group of 10 they were. Advi beat his chest before one of them speak to him after they beat their chest as well. Who is the odd-looking one? One of the 10 young predators asked Advi. He's my sister's little sucker. Advi told them, he looks like a fresh one. The teacher will be here soon. Best to have your warrior face on. Naruto didn't like how the other predators were glaring at him. Their eyes were different from his, but his body was strong, but his eyes shone weakness. The sound of heavy footsteps was heard as everyone turned their heads to see. A big, tall, strong-looking predator. His skin color was mix of greenish-brown. His didn't wear a mask to hide his face, much like the adult predators of this world. His eyes were strong and filled bloodlust. His eyes were blood-colored. He beat his chest as the young predators, even Naruto, done the same as well, beat their chest. A new season has arrived. My young suckers, I see within each of every one of you are ready to learn what it means to be a predator. The young predators listen well to their teacher. The adult predator known as Daijin saw Naruto. It seems we have a new young one within my sights. What is your name? Naruto couldn't find his voice. He didn't speak at all. Daijin waited for Naruto to answer him for a moment before speaking. Advi wanted to speak for Naruto and tell Daijin he wasn't named. I'll ask you again what your name is, young one. Naruto closed his eyes and found his voice as he spoke to the adult predator. I have no name. Daijin looked a bit confused for the moment until Advi spoke. He is from my sister. He is a young one born without a name. My sister Malice has taken this one into my family as one of us. Daijin paused for a moment. He turned his attention toward Naruto as he clicked twice. I see, I have heard they had found a young one during the first hunt. So this is the little one they found. Now listen well, little one, you will learn how to kill, hunt, attack, the way of becoming a predator. But you will need a name first. Class, shall we give him a nickname until this one find his true name? The young predators snarl at the idea, which made Naruto worried a little bit. But seeing Advi's stare made Naruto to toughen up and stand his ground. Good, that's what I want from every one of you. Stand your ground, show no fear, not a single drop of it. Now today I will explain to you all the rules of the hunt. Daijin entered the building while the young predators follow him inside. There was a small classroom to somewhat. There was wall that had the written words umans on it. There were no desk or chairs. The young predators stand and watch and listen to what Daijin had to say. Beginning Naruto's first lesson of today, while the young half-breed listened to the adult predator, and what he would have to say was very important. Umans have long been a top prey species for our kind. Mostly they are a prey for young hunters to start out with. Older warriors like me hunt them merely for recreation. However, we only hunt the male of the species, never the females, the young, or the old. It is not honorable. Daijin told the young predators as they beat the information into their chest as everyone snarled. One of the young ones in the front took a step forward and held his arm perpendicular before his chest. Apparently that was the position they'd assume if there was a question. Daijin saw this and allowed the young predator to speak. How can we learn the difference between the gender of the male and female? I wish to know what the difference of what I hunting. The young predator's words spoke truth while Daijin snarled. Daijin answered the young predator's question. There are telltale of difference between the genders of the human race. The male look like we do, where it counts as do their females. Daijin heard the clicks of the young male's predators as they knew what he mean what he said. The male emit much lower sounds than the females and are constructed much more broadly than their females. In fact, as a rule human males are stronger and tougher than their females mates. Another set of clicks were heard from the young ones in the world of the predator. Their females are stronger, tougher, taller and more deadly than the males. Another notable difference you will find is an human female will have mammary glands on her chest. Apparently, it is how they feed their offspring. Umans are smaller, lightweight prey, the mature males ranging from 170 to 250 pounds and the females being less than that. Some males can get larger than that, as can females. The average height of a male varies. Some can reach 7-foot heights. Females typically do not exceed 6 feet, but many few do. One after another, the young predators took the information about the Uman, one piece of information at a time. Naruto understood this very much and had his ears open all the way, taking the information piece by piece into his mind. But do not mistake size for power. A great number of Umans weigh a lot, but it's from fat layers beneath their flesh. Select Umans with healthy attributes: dense bone structure, solid muscle tone, very little body fat, and most importantly a violent disposition. Their strength is limited, as is their durability, very easy to kill and take apart. Another young predator took one step forward up and asked, "Leader, if Umans are so physically inferior to us, then why do we hunt when there are other more worthy beings to be our prey?" Daijin clicked twice. A worthy question. Uman are indeed physically weak. However, they are remarkably intelligent and violent beings. Daijin, from his right side of his hip, a large human skull that was still connected to its spinal column. "This is the part you are after, the Uman's skull and spinal column. Removing the skull is simple, but extracting the conjoined skull and spine as one whole piece requires strength, skill and practice." Showing them the skull of a human being that he has hunted during his human hunt. Naruto stared at the skull for over 2 minutes. The sight of a skull gave him a chilling thought in his mind. However, if the skull is less than desirable, you can also skin your prey. Uman skin, if treated properly, is soft and pliable and can be used for a variety of purposes. Naruto thought back to the bad bloods that had captured few years back, thinking they could have skinned him alive, but they didn't. He was glad they didn't. Daijin continued his lesson for the young predators. Umans are crafty and inventive, and they are our most intelligent prey item. They use a variety of projectile weapons and explosives which seem to compensate for their limited strength and agility. Every hunt, Umans develop better weapons. They are nowhere near as sophisticated as our weapons, but one day they could be if they continue to progress. Not only are they resourceful, but as I mentioned, they are violent creatures. The more violent an Uman behaves, the more honors his skull will bring you, so learn to observe your prospective targets before you strike. Besides that, the more violent your target is, the more of a challenge he will present to you. Never assume Uman hunts are easy. I've known many a warrior to fall at the hands of Umans. They may be easy to kill and physically inferior, but they are smart and have an advanced sense of sight. Even with our camouflage, they can sometimes see us. Their eyes are highly developed and enable them to see fine details and movement. They do not see as we do, so keep it in mind. But if you become proficient hunters, which at this point I seriously doubt, you should be able to sneak up on them and use your sound mimicry to draw them closer. But that is a lesson for another day. That is all for today, little hunters. With that said and done, the young little ones left the classroom and journeyed together outside the building of their classroom. The young predators snarl and clicks as one of them said, "Hunting the Uman should be fun." He cracked his knuckles while snarling. Remember, Uman should never be taken lightly. Advi told one of them while the predator stared at Naruto for a moment. "Yeah, I know, but I know I will become a great hunter. But your sister's offspring, I doubt he will become a hunter." Naruto glared at the predator that spoke of him. "I can take it. You'll see, I'll become a great hunter." The young predator laughed. "Not with eyes like yours. Your eyes shown great weakness. I have never seen a young one with eyes like yours. Especially one with no name." Hearing those words, Naruto was ready to start a fight with the young predator, all the more reason for him to hunt. Advi spoke up for Naruto. "We are all different, are we not? None of us share the same blood of family of hunters. But our eyes show us how different we are, and I say my sister's little one is different for reasonable enough to be a hunter, is he not? You may have won this fight with words, but when hunting it will be different." Advi laughed at the young predator comment. "We shall see, Yujin. Until then, keep your mind on becoming a hunter like the rest of us proud young ones." Yujin beat his chest and bowed his head as Advi done the same as the group of young predators split up. "How did I do?" Naruto asked Advi. Advi turned his attention toward and patted him on the head. "You're young but not wise, all the more reason to teach you." Advi's eyes had a kind look within them, which caused Naruto to snarl happily. "Come, I shall teach what you can do and what you cannot do." Naruto followed Advi, his big brother, uncle, Naruto's first time of class wasn't that bad he thought, but indeed he needed a name indeed. Advi had shown Naruto around, told him the rules of being a little one, and what he needed to do to become a well-known hunter. The time will come when he will take his first hunt and become a mark warrior, but before you go on your first hunt you must go through the trials of the hunter. The next day, Naruto and Advi were walking together to the school to meet up with the other young predators to once again learn from their teacher Daijin of the ways of becoming a warrior hunter. Yujin saw the two young predators and greeted them. "So we meet again, Advi and no name." Yujin snarled when staring at Naruto, while Naruto clicked twice. "Do you have to call me that?" Yujin snarled. "Yes, you may be a member of Advi's family, but you have no name." Naruto let out a sigh while clicking. "A name he will have soon, you will see, Yujin," Advi said to the young predator. Once Daijin arrived, class began for the young hunters. Daijin started off with today's lesson with a glare at the young hunters. "Now my little warriors to be. Today's lesson are about hunter on the human species home planet. You all remember never hunt the female, the young or the old of the species?" The young hunters nod their heads. "Good, now listen well now. The first lesson of hunting is finding the right prey, finding the right one who is worthy to you. Never hunt in a large crowd of human, they can surround you or protect who your target is." Naruto stepped forward with a question on his mind as Daijin gave him permission. "What if our target doesn't have a weapon, do we still hunt him?" Daijin clicked before saying Naruto's question. "A worthy question you have there. To answer your question, young one, the answer is no. It is unfair to hunt or kill someone who isn't armed. Be this a lesson to you all. It is unworthy to hunt an unarmed prey. Also, there is no pride or fun of hunting a worthy prey who doesn't have a weapon to begin with. So if your target you believe has no weapons, you will have to find another target worthy to your skills." Naruto nodded his head and took a step back as one of the young predators whispered to Naruto, "Good question, no name." Naruto clicked twice. "Thanks," he whispers back. "Also another lesson, if only if you see a male who has a weapon is protecting a woman or a woman who carrying her child. That decision is yours alone, however the woman must not be harmed. Remember, we only hunt the males of the species." Yujin stepped forward with a question on his mind. Daijin allowed him to ask what his question was. "Do the females of our race also hunt the males only as well?" Daijin knew the answer to Yujin's question but gave him his answer. "Yes, they do. However, unlike us the males. The females have special permission on their hunts. What they are I cannot say. In time you will learn and understand. Now, any other questions before we go on?" Naruto took a step forward. "How many humans can we hunt? The total matters on how many you see are worthy." Naruto stepped back while Daijin clicked. He turned his back, overhearing the young hunters talking to Naruto, whispering to him about the questions he's been giving out. After class was over, the young predators once again split up, all but Naruto, Yujin and Advi leave the area. Yujin took some liking to the two young predators. "I can't wait for my first hunt. I wish to find a worthy prey, a worthy one unlike no other." Advi laughed. "Worry not, within a few seasons we will be. But of course humans won't be our only ultimate prey on our hunt list." Naruto agreed with Advi, but like Yujin, Naruto listened to the two young ones talk about the human hunt, but they were still young ones and within a few more seasons their hunting will begin. "But you no name, you will need a name soon. I will so grow tired of calling you no name," Yujin said while pointing at Naruto as he clicked. "A nickname you will need." "I must agree with Yujin. What was your name when you were taken by the bad bloods?" Suddenly a voice spoke from behind the boys. "Do you have a name, little one?" The young predator quickly turned around, look up to see it was Naruto's adopted mother, Malice, big sister. Advi clicked with a calm look in his eyes. Malice looked at Yujin. "Go home, young one, you will see my little brother and son tomorrow." Yujin beat his chest with his right hand, bow his head. He turned as he walked off while Advi beat his chest at Yujin as he walked off. "You do have a name, my little one, I hadn't told you." Naruto snarled. He was happy that he did have a name, and his predator mother was about to give it to him. "I have seen it written all over you. But I shall tell you your name when you are blood. I know this may sound unfair, but you are special, my little one. I see it within your eyes. You have a pure look within them." Advi chuckled. "I'll have to call you Noble." "Ah yes, that it noble, that a good nickname for you. It is strong and seems to fit you, little one. Your eyes do show you can be a noble warrior, and so you shall be." Malice snarled happily. Her eyes looked very pleased. "Yes, I agreed with you, little brother. I believe that nickname will do for my little one. When you are blood I shall tell you your true name." Naruto lowered his head as he nodded. Yes, my bearer, I understand, and I am honored to be given this nickname as well. I will not put this nickname to shame, I promise you, my bearer. Malice placed her left hand on Naruto's head. I know you will not, my child. Advi crossed his arms over his chest. If he had a human face he would be smirking at this. I see promise in Noble. He may not look like it, but I believe he will be a worthy ally and hopeful he will survive his first hunt, but then again the same goes for me as well. 10 seasons has long since passed, since Naruto aka Noble had become a part of the Predator's life and their lifestyle. Today was the day. Today marked the day of the first hunt, the day where all young Predators' fate are decided through this task. Life or death, honor or dishonor, justice and injustice, their fates will be decided by the first hunt. Naruto wasn't alone. He wasn't the only young Predator to be tested. There were other Yautja and Hish were given this task to become blooded or even given the chance to become clan leader. Advi and Yujin were at Naruto's side, his two best men and friends who has been with him through the training of becoming blood. They were also seeking the chance to become blood as well. Advi knew together they would be unstoppable, but however only if their minds were focused on the task at hand. 2 seasons back. Ah Noble, what type of female be your type? Yujin asked his good friend. Naruto, Advi and Yujin were together in the backyard of Malice's home. Only the 3 of them remained in the household while the ladies were away. Naruto never really thought of it. I don't know, I never gotten into of seeking a mate so soon. Advi and Yujin looked at Naruto as if he was crazy. You're serious? Advi tell Noble the beauty of seeking a mate. Advi clicked twice. Beside it's more challenge than the first hunt? Your chances of being accepted are not many. Young males like us aren't going to give up so easily. Take this advice in the future, Noble. If a female comes to you and she said she wished for you to be hers, I would take it. Naruto clicked twice before speaking. And if she doesn't accept me? Try and try again. Yujin laughed. Naruto thought for the moment. Now that I think of it, there is one female I do like. The 2 young Predators got closer to Naruto, waiting to hear what he got to say. Come on, speak, Noble. Who is the lady of the hour? Naruto snarled while glaring at his best friends. Away you two, not so close. Besides, she doesn't know I exist. Yujin and Advi clicked while staring at Naruto and clicked again. Doesn't know or she knows and you are afraid to come to her. Yujin spoke. Advi snarled with a hit of laughter. I believe I know who Noble speaks of. You do? I do. Who then? Lady Stone. Advi said while Ujin's eyes widened but soon patted Naruto on his back as he let out a big laugh. Naruto was confused. He wasn't sure what was going on. I take it I did a good thing. Yes, you have. Lady Stone is a blooded hunter, although she is older season. How old? 4 seasons older than us, but there is no shame of going after a huntress who is already blood, but however she'll only accept you as blood. It's the rules. The female of the race has her right to decide who her mate is. Yujin explained to Naruto about the females of why females are listed the deadliest and respected of the Predator race. What if 2 males want the same female? Yujin clicked. Well, Noble, there are rare moments that can happen without bloodshed. It's the female choice to have 2 males mates if she wants. But normally the mates would have to fight one another to have the female as their mate. And don't forget, Yujin, females can fight over who their mates are. I'll tell you this, Noble, if you have a mate, don't let her caught you fooling around with another female without her permission. Not only your honor is on the line, but your very hunterhood is on the line as well. Advi said while Yujin and Naruto sweat dropped. When he said hunterhood is on the line, Yujin spoke up. I rather have my balls, thank you very much. Indeed, Naruto said. Present day. Now standing together at each other's side, Naruto, Advi and Yujin stood side by side ready for anything for what the elder Predator was about to say. The elder was the same one whom allowed Malice to take Naruto in as her own. It was good to see his face again after all these years. Naruto's appearance had changed over the years, about 6 feet 0 in height, although his Predator body had grown over the years, becoming a tough young muscular. But Naruto wasn't the only one who changed in their appearance in the body and height. Advi was now much taller than Naruto, about 4 inches taller than him, 6 feet 4. Yujin was about the same height as Advi. All 3 young hunters were armed with armor protection on their shoulders, chest and back. The weapons they were given was young hunter's net gun, wrist blade, plasma cannon. All the selected young hunters who will take part of their first hunt were all down on one knee, bowing to the elder hunter, listening to his voice. All ears were open to his voice. They listen well and listen good what he had to tell them. Today is the day of first hunt. You young hunters have been going through training since your first lesson at hand. But now it is time to show your people, your clan, that you are honored to become blood hunters. Your first true step in the life of the warrior, the chosen planet has been selected. You will go through horrors and hell on your first hunt. But if you ever so die with honor, my young hunters. All chosen young hunter raised their right hand in the air, making a fist, as all stood up at the same time and beat their chest and let out roars to let the elder know they were ready to become blood, and they were ready to die if they must, to become honor. The young hunters put on their hunter mask on and all marched together onto the giant ship that will take them to the selected planet of their first hunt. The inside of the ship was large, there are many floors and areas in the ship. Advi, Naruto and Yujin went to floor 2 inside B. Side B. Inside B there were metal chairs for the 3 hunters. A weapon holds for them to check their gears before they reach their checkpoint planet. It even had small bar, but however Naruto never drank. Yujin took a small nap while Naruto was checking his gear to make his weapons and gear was working right, while Advi was sitting in his chair thinking about the first hunt and what the team should do. Advi, what spot you believe we'll find our big target? Naruto asked his big brother, uncle. Advi didn't answer Naruto for about a few minutes. I believe the highest grounds are the mostly spot. But we aren't alone, they will many to challenge for first spot. Bring them on, I can handle them, no with problem. Yujin mumbled in his sleep. Both Naruto and Advi clicked before laughing together. Let us have victory upon this hunt, my brothers of the hunt. Naruto's words were truth and full of honor. 2 hours later, unknown planet. The planet that was heading toward a bright orange-colored planet. Its skies were green-colored, the air was hot, but the planet had many raining days, and this day being one of them. The ship landed near the ocean of the planet on shore of its beach. Once the hangar doors opened, the elder hunter came out first, followed by the selected young hunters. There was 21 young hunters, each were a group of 3s. This planet shall be the checkpoint of your lives or your deaths. Come back alive, my young ones, with trophies upon your first hunt. Show us the honor that is buried within your hearts. Give honor to not only your family and clan but yourselves as well. Show yourselves to become the ultimate hunters. With that said and done, the giant ship that brought them here closed its hangar doors and took flight into the sky and vanished into the stars. Naruto gazed upon the stars of this planet. Come noble, staring at stars won't bring us honor. Yujin said to his good friend and brother of the hunt. Naruto turned his sight away from the stars. I know, Yujin, come now, let us begin our hunt. Shall we bring many skulls to show our honor? The 3 young hunters ran through the jungle of the planet. Many other young hunters running side by side of them as one of the hunters spoke. Ah, so Yujin the strong, Advi the quick, and Nobel the trick are a part of the first hunt? Oh, this should be fun. Yujin snarled. The titles you give us are fitting, but that were our titles before this. After this hunt our new names we shall claim. You make it sound easy, Yujin. But remember, only if you survive it. Yujin laughed at the other hunters. Ah, only if I survive it, you say? My team is worthy of surviving this. We shall see, Yujin the strong. So we shall. Shortly everyone slipped up, going different paths of the jungle as they looked up in the air to see the highest thing they could lay their eyes on, a large mountain. Naruto, Advi and Yujin knew they would have to be the first to be there and claim their trophies of their enemies. Naruto felt it in his heart. He knew they weren't going to make it, and this first hunt will not turn out the way that thought it would. While running through the jungle, Naruto stopped suddenly. So did Yujin and Advi. All 3 knew something wasn't right. They looked at their surroundings. The sound of something hissing was heard. The sound was enough to have Naruto active his wrist blade, ready to stab or impale anything that came his way. Yujin was scanning with his hunter mask while Advi looked down at the ground, seeing footsteps of an animal. Again the hissing sound was heard. Where is that coming from? Naruto spoke, while Yujin and Advi were also trying to find out what it was and where it is now. Suddenly something grabbed Naruto by his right leg. Its claws dig deep in his right leg. Gah! Naruto let out a loud cry of pain. Naruto was brought down into the ground. Noble. Yujin and Advi scout his hunter name. The 2 hunters leaned over the small hole that Naruto was dragged down. Secret nesting ground? Noble, you are one lucky brother. Yujin laughed. Yujin and Advi jumped down the small hole only to find themselves in an underground cavern. The cavern was wet, dripping from the ceiling. The cavern wasn't large nor was it small. The cavern was cold and wet, the floors was wet. Just great, wet cavern, just great. Yujin growled. Advi looked around for any sign of Naruto at all. Advi looked down and saw small drips of blood on the floor. This way no bell was dragged. As the two went fairer and fairer deep into the cavern, the least they saw Naruto's blood on was the floor. This was either a good sign or not. But all that mattered was finding Naruto. But soon the two young hunters discover a dry area of the cavern. Walking down a pathway that goes to another area of the cavern, the two hunters overheard the sound of Naruto roaring, followed by the sound of a beast screaming in agony. As the two enter what appeared to be a small room, Naruto was looking down at the beast that dragged him down here in the caverns. Naruto's wrist blade was covered in light green color blood. The beast appeared to be a 5-foot lizard creator with long bony tail. It had no eyes, but it had long bony claws. In Naruto's right hand was the head of the beast that attacked Naruto. Naruto turned to see his predator brothers and held his first trophy high in the air. Both Yujin and Advi snarled and was amazed by Naruto's skills. He took down one with not much of a problem. Flashback. Naruto's first trophy. Being dragged by his right leg as the beast claws were deeply marked in his right leg. Naruto roared as the pain was pissing him off. Once reached the dry area, Naruto grabbed the beast's long bony tail and used it as he jammed the tail right up the beast's stomach. The beast let out of Naruto's right leg, which was its greatest mistake. With his wrist blade out, Naruto let out a battle-cried roar. Naruto ended the life of the beast with one strike as its head fell off its shoulders. Naruto picked up its head and let out a furious roar. Naruto looked back to see there was other beast like the one just he killed crawling out from the shadows. Naruto was ready to take them on, but the sound of other hunters closing in forced them to return to the shadows, but not before they hissed at the young hunter. End of flashback. Advi looked at Naruto's wound on his right leg. He hoped this wasn't going to trouble Naruto or the group later on. This wound won't slow me down, brothers. Naruto spoke. Yujin and Advi beat their chest once, respecting Naruto's warrior pride. Come, there were more, but they flee when I killed this one. They will come back for me. Yujin clicked. But this time they will find more than one warrior to deal with. Advi cracked his knuckles as he was more than ready to rip or crack some skulls, long as it will serve them of gaining their trophies. Naruto held his first trophy in his trophy bag was acid-proof, so the beast's blood won't burn through it. Naruto wrapped bandages around his right leg to stop the bleeding. The three hunters soon enter a dark area where there was no light whatsoever, but however they were lucky their mask had night vision mode. Yujin led the group as Advi was in the back while Naruto was in the middle. Yujin heard the sound of someone crying out for help. The three were very cautious as they draw near the voice crying out for help. The three hunters discovered a wounded predator warrior with his back against the walls of the cavern. The wounded predator was bleeding from his mouth. His mask was gone and there was a large claw marks on his chest and neck. Tell us what happened? Yujin asked the predator. The wounded predator clicked as he saw the three warriors. Just up ahead is the nest. Be careful, Queenie doesn't like company. Here, take this. She doesn't like the cold, and fireworks too. The wounded predator handed over his wrist blade to Advi. So far it appears to be a normal wrist blade, but when he placed it upon his right wrist, he was given a second wrist blade, but this wrist blade was different, unlike the normal long sharp wrist blade any predator is given. This wrist blade was covered in ice blade. Ice wrist blade, I thought only clan leaders are given those. Yujin yelled as Advi was given an upgrade of his wrist blade as his left wrist blade was now a flame blade. The blade itself wasn't covered in fire, but the steel was red, giving off hot stream. Who are you? Advi asked. The wounded predator chuckled. My name is you. The wounded predator died before giving his full name to them. There was a long pause of silence as Advi kneeled down, bowing his head, respecting the fallen hunter and thank him for giving his gift. Come, the queen is just ahead. Advi spoke while Naruto and Yujin clicked. They were going to enjoy this very much. Yujin and Naruto also show their respect to the fallen predator warrior and thank him for showing them the way to the queen's chamber. Queen's chamber. The area was huge, the biggest part of the cavern. Covered in slime and web, there was giant hive right above the room. There was silence, there wasn't any sign of life at all. Naruto kneeled down on one knee. He felt the ground. Unlike the other rooms, the floor was warm rather than dry. Where is the queen? That was the number question all three were thinking. Yujin picked up a small rock from the ground and tossed it at the wall thinking it would crush upon impact. But however the small rock just bounces off the wall and hit Advi on the head. Advi turned around looking at Yujin giving him what the hell is your problem look. But soon the sound of hissing was heard, all three predators ready their wristblade out. Naruto looked around for the queen but still saw nothing, so did Yujin and Advi. Drip, 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 drip. The sound of drip after drip was heard as Naruto felt something drip upon his head. He looked at the ceiling of the chamber and saw something was hanging there. He wasn't sure but what it was, so he switches his night vision to his xenomorph's vision. Naruto backed up very slowly. The others saw what Naruto was doing, wondering why he was doing until he shown the hand sign of looked up. Yujin activated his shoulder cannon. He didn't fire it, only set his target on the queen xenomorph that was hanging from the ceiling of the chamber. The queen slowly reached down. She came down having her sights on Naruto. Seeing out of the three he was the one who was bleeding. She could smell his blood even before he entered her chamber. Hearing her hiss slowly, Naruto stood very still. The queen opened her mouth as her second mouth reached as a small blue tongue reached out as the tongue licked Naruto's mask down to his neck. Don't move, she's tasting you, don't show any sign of fear. Yujin spoke. How do you know? She isn't no tiger, Naruto said. Yujin had the perfect shot, the queen was close, he had his target on her and her alone. The sound of Ujin's shoulder cannon drew the queen's attention as she hissed at him. Advi took his chance and jumped on the queen and stabbed her in the throat twice with both wrist blades. The queen shook her head trying to shake Advi off. The queen let out a very loud scream that called her children. The xenomorph of soldier and hunters came through the small holes in the ceiling coming to aid their mother. The queen grabbed Advi, finally getting him off her. He smashed him to the wall of the chamber twice before power toss him down to the ground. Advi shook off the pain as the three hunters went back to each others with their wrist blades out and their shoulder cannons. To the hunters' surprise, out from the ceiling were two other queen xenomorphs. It was all clear now, the three queens were fused together at the end of their tails. This was their chamber. Bonus time. Yujin snarl. Naruto got knocked across by one of the queens by her long, large, bony, sharp tail. Naruto shook his head as his mask's vision was screwing up now. Forced to take off his mask, Naruto knew this wasn't going to be easy. Killing soldiers and hunters left and right using his shoulder cannon and his wrist blade. Naruto was about to join his hunter brothers as they were getting overrun by the large numbers of xenomorph. Naruto once again got knocked around by the giant tail of the queens. Blood dripping from his mouth, Naruto roared at the queens to get their attention. They quickly grew tired of him. The queens launched their tail at Naruto, impaling him right in the stomach, as they reached him up high in the air as his hunter brothers watched in horror as they were about to finish him off. Nobel, Advi scouted. Yujin blast one of the queens at their throat, which caused them to toss Naruto down on the floor hard. Naruto coughed up large amount of blood from his mouth. Naruto on the edge of death, he could feel, but that didn't stop him. Naruto saw a face hugger crawling towards him, wanted to take him to create a half-breed with him even though he was dying. The sight of his brothers fighting the xenomorph off alone, the thought of dying a death he believes is unworthy. The thought of his name being listed as the dead young ones. He wanted to become great, he wanted to become a warrior, the greatest warrior, he wanted to be respected by all. He was half-breed, and most important, he wanted to know his name, his true name, his birth name. Dying won't give him that answer. Naruto grabbed the face hugger right before it came at him. He ripped it half as its death scream caught the attention of the queens and the soldiers and hunters xenomorphs. Naruto's eyes flashed red, his claws grew longer, he growled like a beast. When he let out his battle cry, it became a furious roar. Yujin and Advi were shocked to see Naruto in such a state. He had the wound that would kill him, but yet he remained on his feet roaring out like a pride warrior. Naruto came at the xenomorphs, slicing them apart with his bare claws. Yujin and Advi joined Naruto in his fury, helping him finish off one after one. Naruto grabbed Advi and tossed him towards the core of the three queens. Advi held the two blades in an X shape cut through the core that held the three queens together. As the queen fell down to the floor hard, Naruto jumped on the queen that licked him. He grabbed her head and ripped it off with brute strength. Advi sliced the second queen's head off using his fire wrist blade, and Yujin, like Naruto, ripped his queen's head off using his own strength. The three young hunter cried out as the cavern was now filled with the sound of their roars. Yujin and Advi removed their mask as Naruto got down on his knees and broke a piece of the Queen Xenomorph's finger and marked his forehead of his mother's clan upon his forehead. It burned because the Xenomorph's blood was acid, but Naruto took the pain as a warrior and thus he was blooded. As Naruto spoke, he got off the floor standing tall. "We are alive, we are brothers, we are hunters, we are blooded." The checkpoint. Moments later. Also Yujin the strong, Advi the quick and Nobel the trick. "Alive and well, truly you are a warrior of your word," spoke one of the young hunters. Yujin snarl, "See, told ya. We can survive this, and I see you and your brothers of the hunt have also survived your first hunt, Dagon." The young hunter Dagon beat his chest, showing respect toward the three hunters as they also did the same. Advi spoke, "Come on, let us wait, the first hunt is over, let us wait for our brothers who grasped victory upon today." Checkpoint. 2 days later. Naruto, Yujin and Advi were sitting on the heads of their queen's head trophies as the giant ship came in for the young predators of their first hunt. The three hunters had their marks of battle and wounds, but they were alive to prove their worth and worthy of their honor. However, they weren't the only young predators that had returned alive with trophies of their own. The first hunt was a great success this season. All 21 young blood predators were alive, some were badly wounded but alive thanks to their warrior spirit that kept on pushing them. The elder was proud to see the young ones were alive. Wound or not, they have proven themselves worthy of their clan names and their very pride and soul. Predator's giant ship. Naruto lay there on his bed with a full view of outer space. He watched the stars and other planets flew by as the ship was returning home. The wound he was given by the three queens was no longer there, it was gone as if it never was there, but yet he could still feel the pain. His right arm was covered in bandages. He broke 3 ribs with his battle with the queens. He had a black eye on his left eye, but all in all he was fine, his wounds would heal. He would hunt again soon, but his thoughts were focused on what happened during his first hunt. He never thought he was so close on the edge of death for just one hunt. He never wanted to feel that way ever again. All he remembered was unbearable fury unleash. He went nuts on the xenomorph. It felt strange, it didn't feel like himself, he didn't feel good, he felt great, too great. His trophies were displayed on the wall in back him. 1 giant queen skull, an unknown number of xenomorph skulls, he lost count of how many he had. Naruto closed his eyes, all he wanted was rest, he would need it. But however, rest was for the dead and he wasn't dead. The sound of heavy banging on the door was heard as Yujin, Advi and few other young hunters entered the room and grabbed Naruto and carried him out of the room. "Hey, what's the big deal, what is the meaning of this?" he asked, but nobody gave him an answer, all they did was roar and roar some more. They finally let him go as he was dropped in front of them, as in front of Naruto was the elder hunter. Naruto quickly got up and kneeled before the elder hunter. The elder hunter was not alone, beside him was a female hunter. Like every female on the predator home world, she was twice his height size and looked far more deadlier than the males. Like the elder hunter, her dreadlocks were white-colored, showing her age. But yet she was very beautiful, her eyes were yellow-colored but they looked tired. She clicked her fangs twice before snarling happily. She placed her right index finger right below Naruto's chin to have him look at her eye to eye. "You're the half-breed Nobel?" Naruto answered the female elder with a nod. Hearing another happy snarl from the female elder hunter made Naruto wonder what she wanted from him. But soon both Yujin and Advi were right behind Naruto and like him they were kneel before the elders. "You and your brothers have brought honor to your family and clan. Never in my life have we seen such a fearless warrior ready to accept death. We watched from your masks and saw you and your brothers deal with the hive of 3. You 3 are blooded, you were ready to hunt the moment you stepped foot on this ship." Her words were truly honorable to the 3, it truly mean a lot to them. "Thank you, High Eldress," the 3 young hunters said. Predator's home world. Once the ship had landed, the hangar door opened. Once the door, the sound of thousands of Yautja cries were heard, the sound of cheers were also heard. As young predators had made it, they were home and their people were there cheering for them, seeing them blooded. "Young hunters, you are now blooded. Let our race hear your battle cry." The male elder spoke as the young predators letting out their battle cries, letting their family and friends know they are blooded, they are warriors, they are predators. One after another the young hunters left the stage and joined their family and friends, as today was the day of life and honor for these young hunters. Until only Yujin and Advi and Naruto remain on the stage. There were 2 female predators that remain after the large crowd left. The two female Yautja were at the same height, they wore armored but yet they didn't wear a mask. Yujin knew who these two females were. See you two later, heal up well Nobel, you earn it my friend. Naruto raised his left eyebrow. Who are those two? Advi explained to Naruto about the two females, Ujin's little sisters. They must have finished their training of the hunt. But at last look Nobel, my dear sisters and mother. Naruto was happy to see the whole family came to see the two. Well, look at what we have here. Little brother is a hunter now and little Nobel is one too, you have brought great honor. Su spoke as it was true indeed. Malice was glad to see her son had become blooded and he had returned with many trophies that proven his skills and pride. Junkia walked up in front of the group. She looked down at her son and her adopted grandson. 10 seasons Naruto had lived within her household learning of how to become a great hunter. He had passed his first hunt, he had brought trophies and most of all he was blood. Junkia patted Naruto on his head. He finally accepted as one of her own and judging by the happy snarl that was coming from her he made her very happy. My daughter have raised you well young hunter. Now let us go, the day is far from over, the first hunt is just one of the steps of the life of becoming the hunter. Malice knew Naruto was ready to hear it. He wanted to hear what his true name was. He was blood, he brought great honor to his family. Nobel my child, 10 seasons ago you were just a small one but now you are hunter. Nobel my child, I shall tell your true name, the name you were given long after I found you. Your name is Naruto Uzumaki. The name Naruto reached out to him, he heard it again and again through his mind. It may not sound a warrior name at first but its meaning, that's what made Naruto proud of this whirlpool. The name matched him of what he did to the xenomorph. He took them down and ripped them apart like a mighty maelstrom and consumed them with his fury like a raging whirlpool. 1 week has since the first hunt. Naruto, Yujin and Advi have done it. They were blooded. They were blood hunters of their race, brought great trophies to fill their soul with honor. Naruto lay there in his bed under his warm covers. His wounds had finally healed. He stared at the ceiling of his chamber. The giant xenomorph skull hung right above him, hooked to the wall. Naruto was really happy and yet he felt there was something not right. Naruto got out of his bed. He left his chamber to journey his way to the backyard. Once he reached the backyard, Naruto saw his mother, grandmother, uncle and aunts were enjoying themselves. The sisters were swimming within the pool. Advi was cooking the afternoon meal outside while Junkia saw there was something on Naruto's mind. Junkia towards her adopted grandson. What is the matter, young one? Naruto wasn't sure what to tell his adopted grandmother. I don't know. I have recovered my wounds yet I feel there is a hole in my chest. Junkia took a while to think what could be a matter with him. But Su spoke to get Naruto's attention. It is the seasons for someone so young to go through. These feelings will pass, little one. Come join us, cool off Nobel. Naruto decided that could have been it. Maybe he was just going through some kind of predator puberty. It was the time around mating season was open. Naruto drive in the swimming pool to cool off. Naruto felt much better as he drive through the cool water, feeling it cool his skin. Naruto swam to the surface of the pool as he was suddenly surprised, hugged from behind by his aunt Su. Feeling much better, little one? Su snarled. Naruto blushed as he mumbled underneath his breath which case bubbles to appear. As Susa's large ass were on top of Naruto's head. Stop teasing him, Su, he hasn't tasted the life of mating yet. Fuika spoke. Su laughed while Naruto lowered his head down into the pool as he swam around underwater. Su followed him and played with him underwater. Naruto and Su had a small contest on who can hold their breath the longest. Naruto held his breath for about 7 minutes so far while Su swam towards and gave him a small kiss on his forehead, which caused Naruto to open his mouth, freeing the air he holds. Naruto swam to the surface. I win. Su spoke while Naruto glared at her. You cheated, I want a do-over. Su got out of the pool as water dripped off her naked body. Naruto got out of the pool. Sorry Nobel, but a win is a win and I won, little one. Advi snarl. Easy there Nobel. Su never loses at her challenges. She never lost a fight. Naruto snapped his fingers. Later that night, Naruto was on the rooftop of his home, glazing upon the moons of his world, the beautiful sight of the night as Naruto still wondered what was going on here. Why he felt like something wasn't right, there was something he was forgetting, he wasn't sure what it was. Little one, his bearer called him. Naruto jumped down to join his adopted mother. Still having trouble? Malice read right through her. Dear son. I know what is the matter with you, my little one. I'm not little anymore, yet you still call me that. Naruto moaned. Malice clicked twice while staring at her son. Are you going through adulthood slowly? Maybe you should be hunting for a mate rather than trophies. Naruto hugged his mother. He buried his face in her ass. You are blood, yet you are still a child. Malice sighed. You are different. That makes you so interesting, my child. I don't want just a mate bearer. I want a mate who I can trust, a mate who can give you lots of grand spawns. Malice took a seat down a flat rock. Tell me, my child, what type of mates are you seeking? Strong huntress, smart mate, kind-hearted, deadly, the list goes on. Naruto thought what type of mates he wanted. I want a mate who's really good with weapons. I want a mate who's smart and quick. A mate strong and equal to my skills. I want mate who's like you, bearer. You raised me and took me in when no one didn't. You knew I was a half-breed, yet you and family took me and raised me and teach me all about the hunt, the honor of our race. Surely this mate you speak of isn't one mate, is it, my child? Naruto stopped as he rubbed the back head of his head while he had an embarrassed look on his face. Malice clicked twice. She soon left out a happy snarl. My little one, I know without a doubt you will be successful during your hunt for a mate. But come, it is time to rest. The next day, Naruto went out to think about what mate he would deserve the most. He was young and there were so many beautiful females out there. But lucky for Naruto, he ran into his good and hunter brother Yujin while searching for a mate. Ah, Nobel. Yujin beat his chest as Naruto did the same. What brings you here? Yujin asked his hunter brother. I'm looking for a mate. Naruto whispered the word mate as he felt a bit embarrassed to tell his good friend. But Yujin clicked as he stared at Naruto, my friend and my brother of the hunt. You will not find a mate while walking around here. Come, let me show you a place where you shall find a mate. Naruto followed Yujin to a bar that was on the right side of the city, far from where Naruto's home and far from the school of hunting. The two entered the large-sized bar. At first everyone stared at the two who just entered the place, but once they'd upon Naruto's and Yujin's forehead, they were blood warrior. Everyone looked away and went back to what they were doing. Naruto and Yujin went up front of the bar and took a seat at the bar stool as the bartender went over to the two young blood hunters. The bartender was female. She was a tall female, about 6 feet 8 in height size. She didn't look muscular, but she was strong looking as she had kind looking eyes. Her eye color was brownish green. The female bartender's clothes were green colored pair of loincloth along with leaf-shaped bra. What can I get ya? She asked. Yujin ordered Naruto and himself a drink. 2 sinja please. The female bartender nodded her head and ducked down and brought up a bottle and poured a red-colored liquid into 2 cups. There you go. Yujin paid the drinks for Naruto and himself. Naruto whispered to Yujin, Yujin, what are you doing? I thought you said you were going to help me get a mate? Yujin clicked as he stared at his cup. Don't worry, my friend. She'll be here very soon. Just need to wait. Yujin clicked again. The bartender overheard Naruto and Yujin. She grew curious. Helping your friend with some lady trouble? The bartender clicked as she raised her left eyebrow. Yujin snarled at first. Yeah, you would say that. My friend became blood, and so what else a young hunter can do after gaining so many trophies? Yujin laughed. The bartender clicked twice as she turned her attention to Naruto, who was looking around the place, seeing there were a lot of yautja here. Would the lucky lady wouldn't so happen to be Haya, would it? Yujin snarled happily. But soon Yujin tapped his right index and middle fingers on the table. Don't worry, she'll show up right now, she's running late. It isn't easy when your parents always hunting and you're the black sheep of the family. The bartender told the two. Naruto turned his attention to the TV screen that was in the right corner of the bar. Naruto was watching a game on the screen. The game show was called Hunt or Be Hunted. From what Naruto was watching was somewhat like football, but different. There wasn't a football but a skull ball. Soon there was a sound of someone entering the bar. Naruto and Yujin looked to see who just entered the bar. And judging by the look on Yujin's face, this was their huntress Haya. Haya was about 6 foot of her height. Her eyes was green colored. Her deadlocks were long and black colored. Her fangs were long and sharp. Her skin colored was brownish light. Her eyes looked kind looking. Her body was strong looking, not muscular as the males though. Haya walked inside looking around. You're late, Haya. The female bartender told her. As Haya nodded her head as Haya went in the back of the bar to start working at her work. So what y'all think? Yujin asked Naruto. Naruto clicked before answering Yujin, she's cute. Remember we-blooded males can have lots of female mates. I know. Naruto jabbed Yujin in the shoulder as Yujin laughed. Shortly after hours, Haya's shift was finally over. And just as she was about to leave the bar, she came across Yujin and Naruto. Haya looked at their foreheads and saw they were blooded warriors. Haya looked at each of them from head to toe twice. What is it you want? She asked them. Yujin spoke up first. Hello Haya. You are a beautiful young huntress. Haya snarled for the moment. Yujin, if you are trying to ask me to be your mate, think again, blood one. I'm not so easily to be catch. Haya clicked. Yujin put his hands in front of him while shaking his head. Oh, I'm not the one who desires you to be my mate. It is my hunt brother Nobel. You have caught his attention for quite a while. Yujin clicked. Haya looked at Naruto, whose eyes caught her attentions. His blue eyes were indeed the rarest eyes a predator has ever had. His eyes were strong, kind and had no fear within them. Haya went up to Naruto as she snarls as she walked around Naruto twice. Naruto raised his left eyebrow as he wondered what Haya was doing. So you desire to have me as your mate? Yes. Naruto and Haya eyes met full eye contact which was never broke. Haya chuckled as Naruto could feel Haya's right hand slowly sliding down Naruto's back. You have a rich smell. You are truly ready for a mate. You never have a mate yet you are giving off such a rich smell. Haya snarled happily. Smell? Some males cannot smell other males' pheromones but females surely can smell it. And you are leaking a bit, you are ready to mate, maybe a little too ready. Yujin said as he watched Haya snarling at his hunter brother. Haya backed away from Naruto a bit. I shall become your mate but you have to do something for me. It is an easy task. What is it you have to me to do? Naruto asked. Bring me the toughest skull on the planet called Earth and I shall be your mate. Haya's eyes speak the truth. Haya exposed her neckline to Naruto while staring at him with her beautiful eyes. Ah, indeed a special request, you must do this Nobel. To say no to a female's request is saying no to living. Yujin spoke. The toughest you say? Yes, the toughest, doesn't have to be the strongest or fastest but the toughest. Haya went up to Naruto's face and snarled at his face. Naruto snarled back. He nodded his head to Haya accepting this task at hand. Haya placed her right hand on Naruto's right side of his chest. Naruto groaned a little upon feeling Haya's nails dig deep into his flesh drawing blood. Haya rubbed a line of Naruto's blood around her neck. What are you doing? Naruto asked. Haya is marking herself, letting other males and females. She has a mate in waiting. No male have the right to calm her as his. Your blood is on her, so is your smell. Yujin explained to Naruto. So look but don't touch? Naruto snarled. Yujin chuckled. Yes, you could say that. So do I do the same? Naruto asked Haya. Haya shook her head. No, of course not, your blood is on me. They will know you are on task to become my mate. Haya rubbed Naruto's left cheek of his face, their eyes lusting for one another, so ready to mate but not without showing his mate he truly wanted to be his. The toughest skull, ha, fine, I shall find this skull and make you my first mate Haya. Naruto let out a prideful roar of joy. Until we meet again, my mate to be. Haya walked away leaving Yujin and Naruto. Yujin had his arms cross over his chest as both Naruto and Yujin had a full good of Haya's ass moving left and right. Nobel, you are one lucky hunter to have such a task of having her as your mate. Yujin laughed. How is it she know you? Haya and I go way back. It was 3 seasons back, before the first hunt. I was seeking a mate, seeing if I could gain one. And well, luck wasn't on my side. Haya, her father and mother are well-known hunters, yet she is the black sheep of the family. Yujin sighed. What do you mean black sheep of the family? Nobel, you will find out soon enough. Haya doesn't enjoy hunting as her brothers and sisters do. She only hunts when she needs to, but other than that. She's a wonderful female to be friends with, or better yet to be mates with. Yujin snarled. Later that day. Naruto's chamber. Let's see, net gun, shoulder cannon, plasma caster, wrist blade. Naruto was checking his equipment. So soon to leave my child? Malice's voice caught Naruto's attention. Naruto keeled down to his bearer. Yes, I have found a female to say I can become her mate, if I bring back the toughest skull on the planet called Earth. She didn't say who or what skull I had to bring back, long as it was the toughest. Malice's eyes had great worry within them. Earth. My child, be careful, many hunters have fallen to the human race there. And remember this, not all females' requests are worth it, my child. Do remember, why female of our race are the deadliest, we are venom striking without mercy even to our male counterparts. If she is truly worth to bear the future of your bloodline, then go, my child, go and complete your task. I will, my bearer. I know I am half-breed and this earth may be the one I was born. But you are my bearer and this is my true home. I shall return to not only win the heart of my mate, but to bring more honors to our clan. Naruto beat his chest. Malice places her forehead against Naruto's, giving her son her blessing and her praise. The next day, docking bay. Number 9013, Nobel, your ship is ready to take off. Spoke an old-looking predator. Naruto nod his head, thank you, old one. Have fun, young one. The older predator chuckle. Standing behind Naruto was his allies and family, his good friend Yujin, his uncle, brother of the hunt Advi, his mother Malice. Yujin and Advi beat their chest and bowed their heads, wishing Naruto's task will be a huge success and that he may return home in one piece. But before Naruto was about to enter his spaceship, a voice called out his hunter name. Naruto looked back to see it was the High Eldress. Everyone bowed down before the High Eldress. Naruto and everyone rose up after she told them to rise. What honor brings you here, High Eldress? The High Eldress clicked before she snarled. Going on a task for mating, it has been few seasons since one as young as you to do such a thing. I came to you off, young hunter. I prayed that your task goes well and my great-great-granddaughter will be pleased to see her mate once he returns. So that's why Yujin said she's a black sheep. She's royalty now, I have to work even harder. But before you go, there is another task I have for you, Nobel. Yes, I will be honored to complete that task as well. There is an item, the Bad Bloods, that took you many seasons ago. They have left this item in the forest. This item seems remain there to this day. The name of this item is called Eve. Bring this Eve back with you as well. If this Eve can make you into a half-breed, I feared what else it can do. Yes, my High Eldress, I shall complete this task and I will not fail. Yujin was walking down the streets returning to his home. Upon returning to his home, Yujin saw sitting on the couch was his big brother Skin. The very reason why his name was Skin, because not of his odd skin color of mixed green and yellow with black spots, but Skin took the prize honor of skinning his prey rather than taking their skulls. Skin was sitting on the couch asleep, dreaming his dreams of hunting away. Yujin walked past the kitchen until a female voice called him out. Yujin peeked in the kitchen. Yes, bearer? He spoke to his mother. Ujin's mother was the tallest female hunter he ever known, about 10 feet tall she was. Her skin color was bright yellow with brown spots on her body from head to toe. Her fangs weren't the long or the sharpest, but they were the thick and the toughest. Her yellow eyes match her body color. Ujin's mother was cooking dinner, but she wasn't alone. Alongside her was Ujin's little brother, who was not just named for the time being, as Yujin always called his little brother, Little Hunt, because like him and his big brother he would become a deadly hunter later in the seasons. Where have you gone, my second spawn? Yujin clicked, to see my friend set off. Friend, which one? You have many friends. Ujin's mother clicked. Off, forgive me. Nobel has left on a mission by the High Eldress and for his mate to be. Yujin explained. Ujin's mother clicked twice before she snarls. Well done. I knew you would find one. Of course, finding a mate won't be a problem for you, my second spawn. Your brother has 6 lovers. Yes, I know, trust me, I can barely sleeps while they mate, loud they are. Yujin shook his head as he growled a little. No need to be stressed, Yujin. Your brother was worried about you during the first hunt. Now go rest, your father will be returning from his hunt. Yujin beat his chest and bowed his head to his mother and left to enter his room to rest. Ujin's room was filled to the walls top to bottom with weapons and trophies of his first hunt. Yujin lay down to rest on his fur bed. Hunt well, Nobel, may you strike fear in your prey and may their deaths give you honor. Naruto's spaceship. Reaching destination in 80 hours Earth's time, Naruto's computer spoke to him. Naruto got out of his chair and set on autopilot as he went to the back of his space to his weapon storage. Naruto was selecting different type of helmets to wear, from shoulder pads to front armor plates right down to what type of biomask that had special vision modes as such: normal, thermal, night vision, sound, heartbeat and 10 other modes. Naruto went back to his chair. He decided to get some rest before his mission to begin. He had hours to waste. Naruto active his ship to put him in cryo sleep and will wake him up when it reached 20 Earth hours. Naruto closed his eyes, resting as he dreams of his hunt. Now reaching destination, Naruto woke up from his slumber. Already? He spoke, getting up from his chair. Naruto set his gear up and was ready to begin his mission. Naruto landed his spaceship in an open field area in forest, as putting his ship into stealth mode was the smartest thing a young hunter must always do. Naruto left his ship to the open world of Earth, while the field he was in was a beautiful forest filled with trees and life. But suddenly Naruto heard a strange noise as he turned to his space and saw something had strike at his ship. Naruto looked at what strike his ship. It looks like a dragger with a paper at the end of it. The paper suddenly lifts up, burning. The paper suddenly explode, destroying his spaceship. This has indeed caught Naruto off guard. Naruto looked around as he was quickly surrounded by a group of unknown beings. All were armed to the teeth with knives and spears. Naruto growled and let out a warrior cried as he made the strike as he slashed his claws at one of the residents of Earth. As Naruto turned around, he got struck to the face by the end of a spear. Naruto fell down on his body as the group of unknown beings surrounds him as they look down at him. As one of them draw out a samurai blade and strike it down upon Naruto's face. End of Naruto's dream. 20 Earth hours until destination is reached. Naruto's eyes shot open as he found himself inside his spaceship as he looked up at the timer of reaching his destination. 20 Earth hours remaining. Naruto shook his head and growled, not sure what that nightmare was all about, or was it a warning? Naruto wasn't sure what it was all about though. 20 Earth hours later. Naruto's ship landed in a mountain area nearby a large forest. The ship landed in an open spot in the forest surrounding it. Naruto's ship informs him it has reached the destination. Naruto grabbed his biomask. He selected his prime mask, which was Naruto's normal mask, just for normal missions, not special or difficult ones, just for normal mission. This biomask has night vision, thermal and echo vision. Naruto exited his ship once he was fully equipped with his necessary gear. It was raining on the planet called Earth. Naruto looked around the forest as it rained down. Naruto's stealth mode would be useless due to the water effects on Predator's ghost suit, many would call it. Naruto was able to hide his suit as vanish before his eyes. Seeing the rain didn't phase the ship's stealth mode, Naruto looked at the forest of how it reminded him of the early days of training for the first hunt. Flashback 1 season ago. Come on Nobel, hurry up man. Yujin spoke as the three young unblood hunters ran through the forest. Naruto, Advi and Yujin were training together through the forest, which was a training ground for young unbloods and blooded hunters. Naruto jumped over trapdoor pits filled with poison spikes. Advi dodged the shooting spears from the fake tress while Yujin uppercut a fake xenomorph. The three finally made it to the checkpoint at the end of the training forest. All three were out of breath but alive. That was important. The three could hear the sound of the crowd of their classmates and friends cheering them on. The three young hunters heard their training teacher laughed. Their training teacher was female. Her skin color was light orange as her eyes were dark green. Her height level was 6 feet 7. Her body was beautiful, large S with muscular toned body. Her fingernails were sharp but not long. So you little suckers made it. I am impressed, especially you Advi. The female trainer snarled as the three hunters as Naruto fell down to his knees but let out a happy roar. As Yujin pumped his fists into the air while Advi beat his chest, bowing his head to the female trainer. The female trainer clicked before she turned her attention to everyone else who completed their training for today. Listen up, you little suckers, today's training is nothing compared to the first hunt. Don't let it get to your little heads. Tomorrow you will do the target course. Now be gone with you. The female trainer roared as everyone beat their chests as they bowed their heads before they departed. Naruto sighed. Man, what a trip. Yujin laughed. It seems so, but we are alive. That is what matters. Advi clicked as he nodded his head. Yes, Yujin speaks the truth. Now let's go as dinner awaits us home. Yujin clicked while he stares at Advi for a moment. What is it? Advi asked as he found Yujin staring to be annoying. Call me crazy, but I think Ms. Vix has a liking to you, Advi. Yujin snarled as Naruto suddenly to notice that as well. Both young hunters stared at Advi for a moment before Advi knocked their heads down. Are you stupid? Why would she even be interested in me? She's twice our seasons. Besides, you're just jealous I am more skilled than you, Yujin. Yujin laughed for a moment before he saw stop as Advi was ready to deliver a strike to Yujin's face. I am sure she likes the young type. Not surprised I've seen an old huntress being mates with a young hunter young as us. Who knows, maybe you're into the older type. Yujin snarled as Advi uppercut Yujin while Naruto sighed as he sweat dropped. Ah, you broke my fang. Yujin yelled. It'll grow back before the first hunt. Advi sighed as he walked off to home as Naruto wondered about Advi's behavior of striking Yujin. Was Yujin right? Did Advi have a crush on their training teacher, or did he respect her that much? End of flashback. Naruto chuckled as he remembers the good times of getting ready for the first hunt. And in the end they won and came back home with many trophies to their family. Naruto looked at his right wrist gauntlet as he activated the map of the location of where Eve was. It's about 100 miles away from my location, huh? Naruto thought to himself as he looked around the rainy forest. Naruto needed to act fast, but which task should he do first? Find the skull or locate Eve? Naruto asked his computer which was the best to compete first. The computer AI spoke to Naruto through his mask. The object to locate Eve is most important. Naruto looked around, being careful of his surroundings just in case the residents of this planet were hostile when it comes to unwanted guests. Naruto climbed a nearby tree and jumped from the branches to reach the location of Eve quicker. 10 minutes later, Naruto finally reached the location where Eve was kept. Naruto looked around the surrounding to see nothing but the base of a mountain. Naruto's mask could see a hidden door hidden behind the stone walls. Naruto used his mask to find the switch on the side of the wall. The walls slide down, showing a side door as Naruto entered the hidden doorway. Naruto found himself in a dark, cold area within the mountain. The place seemed like a hidden hideout that the Bad Bloods used. It's been many seasons since it has been uses. Naruto saw a stairway that lends down to a lower level. On the lower level of the hidden hideout there was an old laboratory. Empty tanks were everywhere as Naruto looked at a nearby table to see tools with blood on them. Naruto saw a light coming from a nearby room. Entering the next room, Naruto discovered a small room that seems to be the cleanest room on the lower floor. In the middle of the room was a large water tank with something floating inside, as what was inside the water tank was a female, but not just any female but a half-bleed female. The half-bleed female looked like a human female naked, but however Naruto noticed many features that a human female would not have. For starters, she had a long spiked tail. Her elbows had long blades at the end. She had a large horn on her forehead pointing out. The half-bleed was on life support as the water tank was labeled Eve on it. Naruto walked up to the water tank looking at Eve. As he noticed more features on Eve, there was a long scar line down from Eve, right shoulder blade down to her left butt cheek. Naruto also noticed another scar on Eve. There was a longer scar line on her right thigh that went upward but stopped below her right. So this is Eve? Bit surprised, she's female, let alone a living being. Judging from her scars, she suffered abuse. Naruto couldn't keep his eyes off Eve. She was truly an outstanding creature. Naruto looked to his right to see a datapad. Naruto used his wrist gauntlet to take the information the datapad had on Eve, on what she is, where she came from and why the Bad Bloods had kept here. Data shows, Eve species is in the Magellanic Galaxy. It should seem, Eve species were the cause of the annihilated of the species of Mars. The AI told Naruto as Naruto stared at the sleeping Eve. Naruto wondered how her species did annihilated the race of Mars. While reading the rest of the date, so she's a slave brought in the Omega Galaxy. She must have been caught. If you share any feelings towards her, I would not. The AI told Naruto. Naruto jerked his back. Why would I have feelings for her? And why do you say that? Explain. Eve's species are cancerous if they mate with a species that is not their own. They kill the mate out of their species. The AI explained. Death by mating? Naruto felt a chilling feeling down his spine. Correct. Naruto remained silent for a moment. Was this the thing the High Eldress wanted him to bring back home? If this thing ever escaped and mated with a predator, things could get out of hand. Best course of action would be to dispose of Eve. Yes, but I was ordered to bring her back. Would you like to request connect pad? Yes. A small screen appeared before Naruto as Naruto could see a view of the High Elder and High Eldress. Naruto bowed his head. Nobel is reporting. Speak. The High Elder spoke. I have located Eve, Naruto said as he shows Eve in her water tank to them. As High Elder didn't look worried, but the High Eldress growl, which Naruto knew right away she wasn't pleased at all. So they were using that species. I should have known. May I speak High Eldress? Naruto asked. You may. What is Eve? Eve is a dangerous creature. Don't let her beauty fool her. She can take the form of beauty, but underneath it, she is nothing but a fiend, a mate stealer. Her DNA, if infused with another DNA, takes over the host's DNA, rewriting the DNA. This Eve is different from her species somehow. High Eldress glare at the image of Eve. She was taken in as a slave. No doubt they experiment on her. Could have changed her DNA. The data shows they had special plans for her. It would seem she cannot reproduce with males but with females. Naruto scratched the back of his head, not understanding the data he has. It would seem they were trying a new experiment. But not sure what it was. Nobel, you have done well. You would like us to send a team to recover Eve while you continue your mission to find the skull for Haya? The High Eldress asked. Naruto shook his head. That will not be needed. I will deliver Eve to you myself. Very well, but I warned you, young one. Do not allow her to awaken or let her mate with any residents on that planet. Naruto nodded his head as the transmission ended. Naruto stared at Eve before he called in his ship as Naruto looked at a nearby giant computer screen. Naruto grabbed a large switch and pulled the switch downward, as Eve was suddenly sucked upward through a large tube that shot upward. Cargo is aboard the ship. The AI spoke. Naruto took his wrist gauntlet and placed it on the ground as he set the countdown to 10 minutes. Naruto ran through the hideout, and as he climbed to the top of a tree to watch, the hideout was destroyed. Well, that's taken care of. Now to find that skull. Naruto snarled. Naruto took a long pause before he turned his attention to the large water tank that was placed in the back of the ship. Eve was kept in Naruto's water tank, which was close to his weapon storage. Stilling unconscious Eve was. Naruto looked at her as he grew curious on why she was taken in by the bad bloods and was experimented on. The data he was given didn't really give him more. He wanted to know about his kidnappers. But right now he had a mission to compete, and that's what he's gonna do. Elsewhere. The next day on Yautja Prime Predator homeworld. I have become blood and the mission was a success. I have a mate now and a human mate as well. The season is young, for so many new things may happen. The young hunter thought before he fell into slumber. Tayuya opened her brown eyes when she heard the sound of someone snarling. Tayuya slightly looked over to her right to see Naruto and Haya together. The two were asleep together, with Tayuya was on the right side of the bed. Tayuya remember having with him, but the rest was black. Tayuya felt something around her neck like a collar. Tayuya bare her teeth, thinking she was a pet now. Tayuya needed to get out of this place. Tayuya felt her wounds have healed for some time now. She sneaked out of the bedroom. Once outside of the bedroom, she looked around and saw the hallway was empty. Not a single soul was in sight. Tayuya quickly ran out of Naruto's home and into the opening of the outside world she was now in. After walking for a while, Tayuya fell to her knees. The heat of this planet she was on was too much for her to handle. However, a large shadow cast over Tayuya, giving her shade she needed, but however the person standing over her wasn't a kind one though. Standing about 8 feet tall with a strong muscular toned body, with red mean eyes and just like the male predators of this world. He was ugly to Tayuya's sight. But he wasn't alone. Standing beside him was two males. They share the same height level but different eye color and body color. The three male hunters glared at Tayuya as each glare was an unwelcome one. One of the three clicked their fangs as the other snarls and nodded to one another. Suddenly they heard a loud roar to their right. All eyes turned to see who was there. Tayuya's eyes widened. She discovered it was Naruto, but beside Naruto was Haya. Tayuya looked at Naruto's eyes. She saw he was tired but mostly pissed. The three hunters stare at Naruto for a moment, then point at Tayuya as they clicked their fangs. Naruto went over to Tayuya and grabbed her by the back of her neck and held her in place gently. Tayuya's eyes widened in fear, knowing she was in deep trouble, and hoped her hunter was here to save her. The three male hunters beat their chest and turned walk away. Naruto let go of Tayuya's neck once the three hunters departed. Naruto stared at Tayuya for a moment as she stares back at him. She saw his angry eyes were now back to his kind, strong eyes. Was he worried about her, she thought? Haya stared at Tayuya as well. Haya snarled but let out a small chuckle. Tayuya looked confused for the moment. Haya keened down Tayuya's height level and reached to the back of her collar as a click noise was heard. "Can you hear me, little human?" Haya said. Tayuya gasped when she heard a voice. "I take it as a yes then." Haya click her fangs. She should be more carefully if they didn't know she was your human. They would have killed her or banished her. Haya told Naruto. But we are forbidden to kill female humans. Naruto told Haya. During the hunt yes, but if they are here on our planet, the rules can change. She needs proof of being your human. A mark for all to see. Haya told her mate. I will deal with that in time. For now let us return home. Naruto said as Haya nodded. Come little human, you belong to us now. Haya picked Tayuya up by grabbing the back of her neck. Naruto's bedroom. Tayuya sat there on Naruto's bed. There she watched the young hunter was working on something at his work desk with what appears to be a large human skull. The skull looked familiar to Tayuya, as it was the skull Naruto gained that night. Naruto paused from his work on the skull he was turning into a weapon. He looked over his shoulder to see Tayuya staring at him. Naruto clicked his fangs as the female human stare at him. He tapped his claws on his stone desk. She needs proof of being your human. Haya's words haunted his mind. Naruto didn't want her to sneak off again and get caught by others. Naruto has a mate now, and very soon he would need to move out of his mother's clan and move into his own home of his own clan. Naruto turned his attention back at his prize skull. His mind again wanders off to a symbol that would let everyone know that was his symbol. What belongs to him? His clan assembled to tell all don't touch or die. Haya entered the room seeing the troubled look on Naruto's face. She went over to his side and rubbed his shoulders as she snarled. What's wrong my warrior mate? She asked him. Thinking of my clan symbol shall be. Very soon I will be leaving this place and move into my own home. He told his huntress. It will take in time my mate. But for now let it not trouble your mind. She told him. Very well, he nodded. I will be borrowing your human for well. Haya set her eyes on Tayuya. What are you planning to do with her? He asked his mate. Give her a new look. She looks pale. If she's going to be your human she must act like and looks like it. Haya said. Just don't break her, she's not that strong as you are. Haya nodded and she wrapped her arms over his neck and snarled. Haya walked over to Tayuya and grabbed her by the back of her neck and lifted her with ease. Tayuya stand still when she was grabbed. Once Haya was outside of Naruto's home she dropped Tayuya as the redhead looked up at the giant huntress. Haya looked Tayuya in her brown eyes. Tayuya had strong eyes. Strong eyes was a good sign for Haya. Haya jerked her head to the right as she walked off. Tayuya stood there for a second before she decided to follow Haya. Tayuya stayed close to the giant female. Tayuya still wasn't used to the heat on this planet. But she has to deal with it one way or another. After a long walk the two reached a large stone building. Tayuya believed it was Haya's home. However it wasn't. Haya knocked on the stone wall and waited for a moment. After waiting a tall huntress much like Haya appeared. The female predator had short fangs. She was 3 inches taller than Haya. Her skin color was dark gray, however her stomach area was light gray. Her eyes were red. Her dreadlocks were long and white color. Haya, what bring you here? The gray huntress noticed Tayuya. An human here? This one belongs to my mate. A trophy he gained during his request hunt from me. Haya explained. The gray huntress stares at Tayuya for a while before she clicks her fangs. She stood in front of Tayuya, looking down at the small female redhead. What brings you here with her? She pointed at Tayuya while looking at Haya. I'm showing her around and also wanted her to look like she belongs to me and my mate. I see, and your mate would be? The gray huntress asked. Noble, Haya said with a happy snarl. Noble? That little hunter is your mate? Haya nodded. Yes, he is blooded after all. He's having a bit of a hard time with few clan issues while he's dealing with those. I am making sure his human, well you know. The gray huntress nodded her head. The gray huntress touched Tayuya's red beautiful hair for a moment. She poked Tayuya's right cheek gently. Tayuya didn't dare move at all. She understood what they were saying thanks to the collar, but all of this was new to her. First thing first, for an human she sure let her hair loose. And her skin so soft and smooth. Haya nodded, agreeing with her huntress friend. Believe it not, this one has a different form. Haya remembered Tayuya's transformation. Really now? Haya nodded. Eyes black and gold, crown of horn, and her size also changed. But of course this only happened during intercourse. Tayuya's face blushed lightly as she remembers. Seems she remembers. The gray huntress chuckled. After what my mate did, of course she remembers. Haya snarled. How she's here? Your mate must do something to in order have permission of having her stay on our planet. Haya sighed at her friend's comment. Yes, he did. High Eldress wanted my mate to form his own clan. If he trains her into a good enough hunter like us and is worthy of being in his clan, she can stay and live with my mate. High Eldress has the choice of ending a female's life if it posed a threat to our race, remember? Haya told her gray-skinned friend. Yes, I remember Haya. But this little human, I can see it in her eyes. She has the fire, but can that fire be enough to bust and shine as the sun? Tayuya gulped as the thought of death came across her mind. Worry not, little one, we will make you into a better fighter. If my mate chose you, then he surely had good reason. He saw something special about you. Haya told the red-headed woman. I hear you go by a different codename now. What happened to being Lady Stone? Haya clicked her fangs. Bah, that nickname was for me until I was Blood. Now I am Blood, I go by a stronger name now. The gray huntress crossed her arms. I heard from Eugen my mate once tried to get your attention. Ah, Eugen, he never shut that hole he calls a mouth. The gray female sighed. Is it true? Haya asked. Ah yes, but I wasn't looking for a mate. I was waiting until I become Blood then search for a mate. Females now these days would rather mate than become blooded first. There's nothing wrong finding a mate before the first hunt. Haya told her friend. I know, but the first hunt can always be your last. Beside, the thrill of being Blood brings more mates than one on Blood. Aren't you going to tell me your new codename, Puna? God, don't call me that. Don't laugh, she yelled at Haya. But Haya laughed anyway at her friend. I hate that name. I tell you, my bearer must have been drunk as saber-tooth bat. The huntress growled. It's Medusa. Puna told Haya. Medusa? That's an interesting name. Why pick that name? She asked. Why not? I like the name, and also when look at me they are stunned by my beauty. She snarls happily. Or maybe they're afraid when you lose your temper. Haya's sweat drop as Medusa snap at mean glare at the huntress. Bet if your mate still wants me. She chuckle. Fat chance. I am the best mate he will ever have. I'm not sharing him with other huntress, especially like you. Haya glare. He is a male, my bearer share my maker with his mates. It's only nature your mate will desire more. Tayuya noticed a sad look in Haya's eyes. Was she jealous, or was Naruto her first true love? No need to get upset, it will ruin your beauty. Medusa hugged her friend. Still, what you say might be true. Haya looked at Tayuya. Don't take it out on noble Zuman. I was only toying with you. Beside my sister of the hunt, you are his first mate. Male don't abandon their first mate unless they die or they don't desire to be their mate any longer. If I did have to share my mate, I would rather have you or Eula, my sisters of the hunt. Speaking of Eula, Medusa jerked her head to the right. Haya looked to see Tayuya standing still as possible as Eula grabbed her by the back of her neck. She smells of noble. Why is that? Eula asked her sisters of the hunt. Because she's his Uman, Haya told her giant female friend. His Uman? Since when noble has an Uman? Eula looked surprised. Since his return, and High Eldress tasked him to make her into a warrior like us or death waits her. Haya explained. She's short and soft. How can one like her become deadly as us? Eula asked. Don't let her appearance fool you, sister. Uman are the top hunters of their planet. Haya clicked her fangs. Eula doubted it. She wasn't so sure on Tayuya due to her appearance. In her world she might be the deadliest or the most beautiful. Noble pick her for reason unknown to me. But she has displayed her mating skills and have shown she can give Noble such release. Noble mated with her? But she's an Uman, he could have destroyed her with his strength. Eula yelled. Haya tells me she's a special Uman. She has another form, a form that's suitable enough for Noble to mate with. Medusa said as Haya nodded. All the more curious to see, Eula clicked her fangs. Stick with this, little one, you shall become deadly for the behalf of my mate. Haya told Tayuya. At least they have a liking to me. Tayuya's thoughts were. Meanwhile, Naruto grew bored. He was still bothered what his clan symbol shall be. So he journeyed outside to clear his mind. Naruto wondered the state of the experiment he found. So he decided to head on to the location where Eve was kept. Eve was taken the Grand Palace. It was where the family of the Elder and Eldress live. However, before Naruto even has a chance to enter the Grand Palace, he would need to get past the guards who block the entrance. Your business, hunter? One of the guards asked him. I'm here to see the High Eldress. She is busy with business of the next first hunt. Return another time, warrior. The guards told him. Naruto beat his chest. Thank you, my brothers, he said. The guards also beat their chests in return. Naruto turned away and was about to leave until a voice called him. That be noble? The voice was female. Naruto got down on one knee and bowed his head as the guards also did the same thing. High Eldress, he said, what brings you here? I just finished business of the next first hunt. She told him, I came here to ask you, the fate of the Eve creature. I am curious if my mission was a full success in the eyes of you High Eldress. He told her. The Eldress huntress clicked her fangs and told him to raise his head. Come with me noble, we shall talk in my chamber. Yes High Eldress. High Eldress's chamber. The High Eldress's chamber was a beautiful chamber. It was huge. There was a large bed in the middle of the room while on the right side of the room was over thousands of different kinds skulls from humans to xenomorpher to a large bug skull to even what appears to be giant lizard skull. To the right side of the chamber was large number of collected weapons. The High Eldress had a large number of collected wrist blade from a normal standard to a 15-inch blade. Other collected blades were knife weapons of different kind from stone to bone to steel and metal. Enjoy my collection noble? The High Eldress asked the young warrior. Your collection is amazing. He looked around the chamber. I'll be 900 this season. She told him. Naruto's eyes widened upon knowing her age. If you're 900, yet Haya so young. He told her. When I was young I chose the warrior path, it took most of my life. I spent my time hunting, learning from every hunt. When I turned 500 I settled down to mate, I watched my children grow into wonderful warriors of the hunt. But even with a family I didn't give up my passion for hunting. High Eldress walked towards an empty wall. She placed her right hand on it as the wall slid to the right showing a hidden stairway to a lower level. Follow me, she said. Naruto followed the High Eldress. Down below the two enter another chamber. The chamber room they enter wasn't as large as one upstairs. The Eldress stops in her tracks as Naruto wonder why she stopped. However Naruto soon noticed why. Before the two, in case was a large water tank was none other than Eve. Alive and but still asleep. She is not what appears to be. The High Eldress sighs with a worry look on her face. What do you mean? He asked. The report you read and sent us was false. Much like you, she was experiment, her DNA crossed with others. There was another data found inside the log you sent us. It belongs to the leader of the bad bloods that capture you. She explains to the young warrior. False? Wait, are you telling me she's a human? He looked surprised. Was a human? It turns out she was their prototype before they capture you young one. Everything they did to her was to ensure what did you was the easy way. She suffers numbers of experiment before they move on. Report shows she was never finished. She has the DNA of 3 species inside her. They were creating creature from other species but using human as the basic form. Then once the experiment was complete, they easily create a fake background and sell them. She told him. Naruto looked at the sleeping Eve. His wonder what hell she'd been through before they found him. She has no place in the universe. To others she shall be looked on as a creature of ungodly creation. Naruto was half human half predator though his behavior and half of his appearance was that of a predator. His heart was human. What will you do with her? He asked the High Eldress. She have no use for us. But she may be use for you noble. Me? He jerked back. You are half human yet you are blood and all respect you as a full-blooded Yautja hunter. You are my great-great-granddaughter's mate. At first I was going to have you send her to a random planet. But now I see can become something very useful in your future. How so? Though her appearance is nearly that of a xenomorph, she has Yautja blood in her. Anything that crossed with a xenomorph in our kind is forbidden and need to be killed on sight. But I will give you a task to ensure if Eve will be useful or not. If does she will live, if not she dies. What task will you have me do? He wonders what she had in mind. You will know within a month. For now rest well and enjoy your time with Haya and your Uman. And remember what I told her, if you want your Uman to stay. Yes, she must pass the trials of rebirth. He finished her words. Good, she snarls. Little one wake up. The sound of Haya's voice was heard. Tayuya opened her brown eyes to see Haya looking down at the female human. Tayuya noticed she was on top of Naruto who was still asleep. Haya looked her mate's Uman, seeing the look of lack of sleep shows bags underneath the redhead's eyes. Haya knew the reason for this. Tayuya was kept up all night since Naruto couldn't sleep because the clan issue he was still dealing with. It's only been just 2 days since she came to this planet, and she cared about her alien master. During the second day upon Tayuya coming to Predator homeworld, Naruto and Haya moved into their own domain. The domain that Naruto now lived in was larger than the home he was raised for years. The domain was much like the other, was stone-made but very large on the inside. Tayuya mumbled underneath her breath. She shut her eyes and fell back asleep on Naruto. "Come on, little one." She grabbed Tayuya by the back of her neck, lifting her up. Tayuya let out a small whimper noise. Haya shook her head. "After we're done, you can go back to sleep." Leaving her mate's home, the two journeys out. The skies was still dark. Tayuya wondered what time was it. Was still night or morning, she couldn't tell. "All good, you're here," said a female voice. Tayuya looked to her right as both she and Haya looked to see who was there. It was Eula and Medusa. Both waited for the two to arrive. "About time you shown up," Medusa said. "Sorry, little one wanted to rest some more," Haya explained. Tayuya looked confused. She wasn't sure what was going. "She looks lost." "Haya, we should explain." Eula clicked her fangs. "Little one, Noble has been told that you can stay, you can live with us, living upon us hunters. But you must pass a trial." "Trial?" Tayuya said. "A trial you must pass or die trying, a trial of rebirth. Noble has taken a strong like to you, little one. And I will be your trainer. I will make sure you will be a weakening." Tayuya nodded to Haya and her sisters of the hunter. "She understands, she's a quick acceptor." Medusa chuckled. "Of course she does, she wished to stay. I see it in her eyes. Again, my sisters, if my mate didn't bring her with him, she wouldn't be worthy or useful. He saw something special about her, and so we will make her fire burn ever brighter." Haya's fangs clicked. Tayuya pointed at Eula and Medusa as Haya could easily guess what she wanted to know. "They will help as well. But I will be your personal trainer. They will aid me. Now to the basic, I want to know what you know from your world. Your way of fighting. If you're good of a brawler, then maybe you will survive the first trial." Tayuya's sweat dropped. She didn't like the idea of going hand to hand with a giant alien female. Few hours later. Naruto thought. He woke to the sound of rushing water. He rose from his bed, looking around with a sleepy glaze in his eyes. Getting of bed and leaving his room, he bumped into his lovely mate who stood before him bare naked. Water dripped from her body from head to toe. "What time is it?" he asked his mate. "Noon, my mate." Little one cleaning herself, she needed it with the smell of foul she had. Naruto stared at his mate's eyes. He wasn't sure was that the main reason, so he asked with his arms crossed. "Is that so?" "Indeed so." Another voice spoke. Naruto's eyes widened. Who saw in his home? "Eula, Lady Stone, surprised to see you two here in my home." "Ah yes, your Haya is our dear sister of the hunt. And I go by the name of Medusa now," Medusa said with a chuckle. "Change your name, but you're still Puna to us." Haya laughed. "Explain your reason being here. Not every day I get visitor here," he said while clicking his fangs. "That's our business to know and you to find out, Noble," Eula told the young warrior. But then there was knock on Naruto's front door. He went to see who was there. Whoever it was, they better have a good reason bothering him at this hour. "Noble, my brother of the hunt," a familiar voice yelled. The moment he opened the entrance of his home, he stared with a tired glare. "Hello, Eugen, what brings you here?" he said. "I came to bring you some news," and Eugen paused as he'd noticed something behind his brother of the hunt. So the curious hunter pointed to what was behind Naruto. "Noble, what's that behind you?" he asked. Noble raised his left brow and looked to see what was standing behind him. There, standing behind Naruto but naked from head to toe with her hair wet. Tayuya hid behind Naruto's back left leg. She stared at his guest. Eugen's sweat dropped upon Tayuya's strong glare. "Is that your pet or something?" Eugen asked, while pointing. "She's my Uman," Naruto answered. "Ah, your Uman, that cool." He paused for a moment. "You're what?" Eugen yelled. "Yeah, my Uman. I brought her here after my quest from Haya. I got permission from the High Eldress. She can stay long as I make her into a hunter," he explained to his friend. Eugen walked closer to get a better look at Tayuya. The male hunter kneed down to Tayuya's height level. There, when he patted her on the head, Tayuya stared. "She's got fire. I see it in her eyes. Senior mate has been training her. Is that right?" Eugen nodded. "Yeah, those eyes are someone being trained. I should know. My brother said my eyes and his were the same when our father trained us. But I will say, you better start training her yourself, or else your female will think you're not suitable of raising your little ones or anything within your grasp." "Crap, really?" Naruto jerked back a bit as Eugen nodded. "You're a male, you need to prove not only in bed but in battle and in life. You are the male they wanted. The male the females want to live until time ends. Take it from me, my brother told me without a female being blood is only a small amount of true goal in the life of his hunters. Just how many mates you brother have anyway? Naruto raised his right brow. Yujin closed his eyes and tapped his forehead as he tried to recall. About 10? No, yes it was 16. 16. Naruto shouted with his jaw hang open. What? That's normal. Your jaw will really drop on this one. They say the male who had the most females had about, I think it was 50, almost close to 100. F50. Anyway, wait, is that Eula? Yujin saw Eula walking around in the back chatting with Haya. Then he saw Medusa there as well. Yujin looked at his brother and Hunt and so a happy snarl escaped from Yujin. Ah Noble, you sneaky demon, I see what going on here. Yujin playful elbow his friend in the stomach. First you became blood, then you found a mate, then you leave your old home into a new one. And now I'm seeing females in your lair. You're working fast my brother. Yujin laughed. Yeah, guess I am huh? He looked back as Haya gave her mate a wink. Anyway, you spoke of having good news for me? Naruto gave Yujin a long stare. Ah yes, have you heard? About what? I got a date with Widow. Yujin chuckled. Black Widow really? That blood-crazed female? Man, didn't she almost knock your skull right out when you grab her ass by mistake? I remember it took 5 females just to hold her back. Yeah? Yujin scratched the back of his head. So why tell me this? I kind of told her that you and Haya would come along. You set up a double date? What for? Naruto yelled. She said she'll only accept the date only if I bring another male and female. So a double date is needed. Come on Noble, you own me one. Since when? Naruto crossed his arms. If it wasn't for me, you and Haya would have never met. Yujin chuckled. Gah! Naruto clicked his fangs. I wouldn't mind it. Haya's voice was heard. Haya wrapped her arms around her mate's neck. She snarled against his right cheek and stared at Yujin. Yujin beat his chest and bowed to his head, showing respect to Haya not only because she's from royal blood but also the mate of his brother of the hunt. We accepted, just named the place and time Yujin. Ah yes, we shall meet at the event when the sun set. The event? I'll explain my mate. See you then. Yujin ran off in a hurry. The event, what is that? Ah yes, it is a place where older hunter goes to sharpen up their skills. It is a perfect place for male and female to meet. My bearer met my father there. Sound like a place to play games. But this is no game my mate, you shall see soon. Naruto's sweat dropped. He had a feeling he gonna regret accepting going on the double date. Later that night, so this is the event huh? Noble. Naruto and Haya heard Ujin's voice. The couple looked to their right and saw Yujin, but he wasn't alone. Standing beside him was his date of the night, Widow. Widow had a slight odd different her appearance when it came to other females. Widow was much shorter than Haya, about the height of 5 feet 9. Compared to other females she was very short. Widow had short black dreadlocks. Her eyes were yellow, she had long sharp fingernails. Her skin was black colored from head to toe. On her back was a red tattoo with an hourglass symbol that went fitting with her hunter name. She wore black leather bra and panties. Wow, I forgot how really short she is, compared to the others. Naruto thought. Noble, Haya, glad you two made it. Yujin walked over and hugged the two as he wrapped his arms around their heads. Don't make any height jokes, she has a real bad temper when it come height or short jokes. Don't screw this up for me please. He whispered to them. Relax, we won't. Naruto snarled. You should be yourself Yujin. Widow is mean, but if she accepted this double date, she may have gained some respect for you. You don't screw this up, she may be a good first mate. Haya clicked her fangs. Really, you think so? Yes, first mate are usually the best mate. A female of her level will birth many spawns for you. You helped Noble and I become mates, now Noble's turn. Haya looked her mate with a happy snarl. We'll have a mate before sunrise. Now let's see what this place is about. Noble and Yujin clash hand, the two brother of Hunt grip their handshake. Well, shall we begin? Haya asked the males. Yes, they nodded. The couple entered the event, which was a large building. Once inside they saw nothing but over hundreds of yautjas walking over around. Some couples, some loners. There are many things they could do within the event. They had Target Strike, which was a game where the yautjas could practice their aim. Others had game familiar with games that were based on the hunt. Stalker huh? Naruto looked at one of the games that were on display. Yeah, almost like Hunter, however this has a double edge. Yujin said. Explain. We hunt you guys. Widow spoke, she had soft small voice. Naruto didn't judge her quickly. He remembered how violent she could get. However, it seems a bit strange she was acting quite. Yujin, how does this works? He asked his friend. While the Yujin explained the game to him, Haya and Widow had a little moment to themselves. He has no clue, does he? Haya clicked. I lost the bet and you said, he would make a good mate. So far, he has changed from his early days. He isn't stupid as he was. Widow snarled. I believe it because of Noble and Advi. You almost killed him that one time. Noble told me about it. If it wasn't those females you call sisters, Yujin would have been one dead male. Haya laughed. Yeah, he grabbed my ass during our encounter. Widow looked away with small blush line. Never met a mate like him, huh? But now what do you think of him now? Haya asked. He's... Girls, Naruto said if you can't hunt us down you'll do anything we say for one full season. Yujin laughed. Ah, you lie. I didn't say that. Naruto roared. Yujin laughed at the upset young hunter. Relax, just joking around. Naruto glared for a moment. Actually, Haya started, which got the male's attention. That's not a bad idea. Widow clicked her fangs. Naruto snapped a glare at his brother of the hunt. But only the date of that gender will do it. Widow said. What ya mean? Naruto crossed his arms. You and Haya are mates, so if you lose Noble, you will what Haya's commands. Yujin is my date, if I win he'll obey me. You're a nice strong male Noble, but you're too nice for me. Yujin however is an interesting one. Widow said with a powerful stare in her eyes. Don't worry Noble, some females want other things beside looks. Yujin laughed. Naruto only slapped his forehead and shook his head. Whatever, can we do this or what? He asked them. Few minutes later, Naruto and Yujin enter a large area. The area was large forest area as the two looked around their surrounding. They looked at one another and gave a nod. The moment Yujin took one step forward he heard Naruto whisper to him. Wait, they see us. The two saw laser aim set right on foreheads. But soon it went down from their heads down to the chest, but for Yujin his hunter aim went one level down. Aw really, she gonna aim there? Guess little revenge for being an ass grabber, huh? Naruto laughed. That was seasons ago, can she really hold that much of a grue? Never mind, she's female. Yujin sweat drop. Come on now boys, run so we can hunt you down. No fun hitting our target before it can begin. Haya's voice echoes. The two didn't move a single muscle since their females had a big head started on them. Suddenly a warning shot fired, which messed them by an inch of their feet. Wait, they're actually using shoulder cannons. Naruto sweat drop. Run, they heard Widow shout, and on command the two male predators ran for it. Yujin, you didn't tell me they can use live ammo. Naruto shouted while rushing through the forest. What, I thought you knew. Weren't you listening when I explained the rules? Gah, you better hope we survive this. I'm getting shot so you can get laid. Don't worry, I am sure your mate won't put you in danger. But Widow however, after the game, okay, I'll admit that was fun, if you don't mind being blasted or having a knife to your throat by your mate. He groaned while Haya carried him over her right shoulder, while Widow did the same to Yujin. But hey, at least the females have fun, right? Yujin clicked his fangs. We won, you know what that means. Widow looked at Haya. The males sweat dropped together. Who know, maybe the commands aren't so hellish, maybe it's a heavenly reward. Yujin guessed. Yujin, I enjoy your date. Since I won I want you to meet my family. I am sure my bearer and sisters wouldn't mind meeting you. Huh, Yujin said with widened eyes. The look of fear filled his face. I thought you said your family hated my guts? He looked confused. That was seasons ago, you are blood now. And I have decided you to be my first mate. Today you proved you can run very fast when you need to. You are going to be my mate, like it or not. Widow snarls happy. Noble my mate, Haya spoke. And what's my mate want me to do? He asked with a tired voice. Nothing too hard for someone like you. Later that night, you want me to do what? He asked. Haya was sitting on the large bed while braiding Tayuya's hair into hairstyle of dreadlocks. So far Tayuya had her hair down. Her hair covered her face while Haya was doing the back of her hair. Take your woman with you. This could be a nice trip for her. I know a planet just perfect for her. A true experience for her, become a better warrior and you become a better leader my mate. The creature there grows size from woman size to size of a city block. Haya explained to her mate. Tayuya looked unsure about this, thanks to the collar she could understand easily. But knowing Naruto will be there with her ease her worries. Ah, that planet, I heard about it. I believe the creatures are called acrid or something like that. Haya nodded to her mate's question. Be carefully, my mate. I know you and your brothers of the hunt have hunted bug prey before. I can handle it, Haya, do not worry, my mate. Also, can't you come along with us? She has grown close to you. Hey, how about a nice trip with just the three of us? He looked at her with curious stare. True, I won our little bet, so you'll be the one to do it. I am not going to be the only one training her. She's your woman, so. She stared at him. Right, right. He nodded. Haya grabbed Naruto by the back of his head and she placed her forehead against his. The two snarled and clicked together, while Tayuya couldn't help but smiled her, masters. I want you to return in one piece. After all, little our spawn will need a father and mother to teach the way of hunting. Haya, you're with child? He said with widened eyes. Your child, of course, my mate. I must say we made it only twice since you returned from your trip, and well, that all is needed to birth our spawn. She snarls happily. Return I shall, and my Uman will become a better hunter. She'll be ready for the trials of rebirth. He beat his chest, making a promise he will keep. One day later, elsewhere. Somewhere on another planet. The planet was filled with life and forest far as the eye could see. But beyond there was what appears to be ruins of a city that lay to waste for who know how many years. The city was dead, empty with no sign of life. However, coming out from the skies was a large spaceship. The ship was black-colored from front to back. It was unknown who or what was landing this ship on this planet and what reason for. As the ship landed and its doors opened, out stood whatever was inside. Standing about 9 feet 2 feet of height, wearing a thick black-colored armor which matched the boots it was wore. The being was male, his size hulking as he stood. He had pronounced facial features, his bottom lips overlapped his top lips and he had long sharp teeth that bent back towards his face. He also had thick gray-color skin, his nose was porcine as his had gold-color eyes. He had large huge hands with long black fingernails, there a black triangular marking on top of his head. In his right hand he held what appeared to be a very large black-colored knife. From afar, hiding behind a large tree within the forest, stood a cloak figure. The cloak figure wore a torn brownish cloak, however the person wore what appears to be a helmet made of bones. What creature bones these were was unknown. The cloak person lifted the skull helmet upward, showing half of the person's face. Underneath the bone helmet was a pair of beautiful blue eyes. The cloak person spoke as the voice was female. What's this? She saw the ship from afar. That's a spaceship, maybe I use that to get off this planet? I know the owner won't let me borrow it without a fight. She thought in her mind, picking up from the ground what appeared to be a large sharp tail blade spear. The cloak woman brought her helmet down, holding her spear weapon tightly. She was ready to hunt down her prey, but unknowing another hunter will come into play.
That's all for now. If you want to see next part, then please like this video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.